Okay, so now that my connection should be a little bit better, let's have faith.
No faith.
Let's dive right in. So, just to kind of review the character building that we did before, so that we're all on the same page. You guys are a group of 4 ne'er-do-wells carrying out various illegal operations on the sort of megapolis planet Etrea. The 4 of you work doing various jobs for the Tau criminal syndicate. However, when you're not doing those, the 4 of you have found that you all work very well together, carrying out other various capers, and you become good friends.
John, can you do me a favor? Can you add a note for everybody that can... Is there a thing that we can just put as notes so we can all edit it in Roll20? Is that possible?
It should be possible.
Yeah, you can throw together a handout and then just put it in everybody's fucking thing.
And everybody can edit it?
Yeah.
So first off, take a look at that link that I just put in Roll20.
Or Google Doc works, I guess.
No, I'm going to give you all a note that you can edit. So you should now also see a handout in Roll20 that will be collective notes, and you should all be able to edit it and add whatever notes you would like to add. If you take a look at the Signatori campaign stuff that I just linked, that Google Doc, that's a Google Doc that I've put together and that I will continue to edit as we go. That has a bunch of notes about the setting, as well as planets that you've been to, races you've encountered, and NPCs that you have met or interacted with. And that's basically because I need to keep notes just for my own record keeping, and it's easiest if I just share some of those notes with you guys so that we're all on the same page.
Did I just say anonymous llama?
There's a anonymous llama, hedgehog, badger, and ferret. All looking at the document right now. Google Docs is extraordinary.
I like that. Long ago, daring, bold, and probably very stupid people braved the many dangers of space and primitive craft.
John, I like your time manipulation one. It's very interesting.
Cool. Also, if you look at the Google document, is everyone able to access it first off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you click View and then Document Outline, you definitely want to use that, because I have the outline set up so that you can navigate to any part of this that you would like to navigate to.
Oh, sweet.
Faster than light travel.
So that table of contents and the headings should allow you to move around pretty quickly. You guys have permission on this document to add comments. So if there's something that you would like me to add, like of your own notes, or there's something that is incorrect in here, or you would like to see maybe done a little bit differently, or something else added.
Like in the cybernetics portion?
Yeah, this is a living document. I'm still adding stuff to it. So
I just was giving you crap because it's like used to heal the injured. Some people. What?
Yeah. I have more to add. If you look at like the worlds, I have 2 worlds put in so far, but I still have more to write up about Vatskog. And other races, I think you're all in there now. The Amagili and the Bombra are both in there.
Is that what Austin looks like?
Mushroom life.
Sort of similar, I think.
Amagili?
Where am I at? Yeah, similar to that.
Bless you.
No.
Okay.
But if you look in collective notes, yeah, you can also see that you guys can now write in there too. So I would be somewhat careful in there. We can actually make a Google Doc for you guys if you would like, if that would be easier to edit and keep your notes with.
Yeah.
So we'll make a Google Doc for all of you guys. So you guys are on the world Etrea. So if you look under worlds to Etrea, you'll see some information there. And you'll see like lists of businesses and criminal organizations and governments and whatnot. Obviously, that stuff's not exhaustive. It's just kind of like a quick overview.
The Board of Compliance. Committee of Sophistication Enforcement.
Committee of Sophistication Enforcement has to do with the artificial sapience forbidden knowledge, if you go and look at those. But sophistication enforcement is referring to the sophistication of AI.
Guys, how come we don't have cool company names like this? Why do we get stuck with Disney and Amazon?
There was a funny post about that was talking about how like in all of these like dystopian cyberpunk
Oh yes, that's what I was
storylines.
referencing.
Yeah.
So all these things with like cool names and the corporations have taken over everything and just rad. Disney, Amazon.
Coca-Cola Aeronautics.
And like
I'm
maybe in
into
like
it. I like it.
200 years when they haven't grown up with Disney or something, like when they weren't there, I don't know, when it's more legendary, they'll be like, oh, Disney, and not like Disney.
Disney Warner Industries, the titan that strangles the earth.
I don't think that would go Disney Warner. I think it would just stay Disney. Disney would no.
Yeah.
No.
Warner would just not be there anymore.
They're like, how's DC working out for you guys?
Ooh, shame. But you know what's funny? Now that we own you, we can have all the crossovers we want.
Oh god, yeah.
Dude, Xbox One Pharma. Nice.
What?
Zyboon.
Zyboon.
Xbox One.
It's Jiboon.
Whatever. Sorry. I'll speak made up language.
It's not 11 Boom?
Yeah. 11 Boon Pharma. Let's see. Criminals. So what are these? So the Tau Syndicate is who we work for, right?
Correct.
And then Maiza, the Gitra family, and then Authority. So Authority is just the authorities? Or
No, those four are the four biggest criminal syndicates on the planet. So Authority is criminals, but they call themselves Authority.
Nice. Regency Control, Board of Compliance, Committee of Sophistication Enforcement. So, like,
I'm
if
sorry.
you're
What
noble-
was that?
Huh?
What was that? It was a sophistication.
Committee of Sophistication Enforcement. You my ass.
Didn't we just talked about this? That's AI enforcement, making sure that
Yeah.
AI
Oh,
is-
okay.
So if you look under the artificial sapience thing, I described it as the threshold, like the levels of sophistication of AI. So it's how competent and complex robots are.
Robots. The
Robot.
famous Chronomancer. Is that an L or an I? Illyrian, I'm assuming, not Lyrian.
Lyrian.
Yeah. the famous chronomancer, Lyrian 4. It comes in the banning of time travel. Lyrian pulls trying to rewind time.
What a foolish Illyrian.
Richard, you said it's lyrium.
And,
What a
yeah, it's
foolish
Lyrian.
Illyrian.
The resultant infinite number of Lyrian 4s suddenly occupying the same space. A massive explosion that went through several star systems. Holy shit!
See, John, this is why we can't have nice things, because you like it looks odd, and it's just like, nope, that's the name now. It's just Lyrian.
Is that better? Is that better?
Lyrian.
That sounds like a rapper's name, Lil Irian.
Little Irian.
A little irritating.
All right, so you guys are currently on Etrea. You work for Tau Syndicate, one of the criminal organizations. When you're not doing jobs for them, you've worked together doing little capers as a group, and you found that you work quite well together. You pretty much operate out of the back of a bar called the Prancing Space Pony. The excuse me. The bar is owned by a guy named Mouty. He's an Usoran, and he's a veteran of the Tau Syndicate, who's more or less retired now. He pretty much he keeps his ear to the ground and he tries to have some idea of what's going on, but he's not an active criminal. He just runs the bar. But he's grown fond of the four of you. He lets you plan capers in his back rooms and stash your stuff there. Because he's former Tau Syndicate, he's protected. So it's a fairly safe place for you guys to store things and for you to carry out your operations. Your immediate sort of superior in the organization, the one who sort of runs you guys and tells you what you need to be doing, is named Gren. And if you actually look in the Signatori campaign stuff document, at the bottom you'll see significant NPCs, and you'll see Mouty and Gren. So Gren is Gren the Green, and she's a pretty cutthroat and dangerous Plin. Which are the small
Plantoid people, right?
they're not plantoids, they're sort of mammalian, but they're small. They're maybe only like a meter tall, but they're extremely like athletic predators originally. So they're evolved from predators that would like run down herds of animals. And she's, yes, it says here, she's a shrewd operator and has risen to a position of moderate influence by being very cutthroat and cunning. So that's sort of where you guys are at. And then I think we should probably like review y'all's characters once again, just so that we're all on the same page there. So would you guys go through and just introduce yourselves quickly so I can stop yammering at you?
Keep yammering.
Sure. My character is Mez, and she is a pilot. She's new to the smuggling business and isn't particularly pleased with the fact that she has to smuggle and do illegal activities. More of a pacifist and would prefer not to be doing illegal stuff, but realizes that it's something that she has to do to survive and therefore has to do it.
My name is Dorian Yoxel. I am an Amagili, which is like a lizard boy. I can't breathe most plants' air, so I wear a respirator over my little lizard mouth. And then I'm a incredibly talented marksman. Soldier. I'm more of like an Overwatch type person. I don't really like to mix it up in the front lines. I don't have a huge amount of defense, and I'm here because our paths have crossed, and it's become mutually beneficial for the four of us to work together.
I'm Drix, I think. Is that my name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Drix. I'm a splicer. Mostly sit staring at my wrist computer or various other sort of tech screens. Scrolling. Fucking searching through the internet. Searching for leads for us. Not very talkative. Surfing. A little less fun, I guess.
All right.
Alrighty. So I am like Groot, if Groot with mushrooms instead of a tree. Weird looking mushroom person. I tend to wear my armored suit. Let's see. Oh, I was working with the syndicate for a while now since they found me and took me in, and I work well with you guys, and everybody just calls me Ma. That's spelled M-A-W, by the way.
Ma. All right.
I think it's on account that my mouth is 2 feet long.
God damn, that'll do it.
Alrighty. So, we begin in... One moment.
Sorry, I got
What?
excited. Don't mind me. I'm just being a personality core.
Just start over, John.
We begin in a bar.
Nice.
Top left corner of a bar.
We're in the Space Tavern.
Yeah, you're in the Space Prancing Pony.
I thought it was the Prancing Space Pony.
Oh yeah, the Prancing Space Pony. The Space Prancing Space Pony.
That's all one word. There's no spaces.
Okay,
Ernie Hutchins.
I changed it in our notes.
There's no space. Should I like shrink the image to be super tiny so that you guys are all crowded? And so the four of you are sitting back. You're relaxing. You're maybe in between jobs. Maybe just pulled something off. Everything is doing pretty well. Pretty okay. When suddenly the front door clangs open, and in struts Gren the Green with 4 goons behind her.
What's going on, Gran?
She just sort of sniffs at you in kind of disdain, and looks over at Mouty and orders a drink, and a drink for all the goons. The goons follow over to the bar and take their drinks. They sit down at the bar, and Gren takes her drink and sidles over and sits down at the table beside you, pulls up a chair and sits down. How are you all doing today? She says in kind of a cold tone.
Hey, I got a quick question before we continue. Are we level 1 or level 2?
Should be level 2.
That's what I thought. Okay, let me make sure that I did that. So you guys can continue.
I have to figure out how I said I was gonna play this character.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna work on it, but as of now, I have nothing good. I have a slight Australian accent, but I'll
Nice.
actually get to that later.
Okay. I am indeed level 2.
Thor, you've been busy lately?
John, do I know this person? Are they from the syndicate?
Yes, yeah. She's the underboss that manages the 4 of you, basically. She's your employer for the various jobs that she needs you for.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna think hello at her, but not really do much else.
As far as busy goes, well, you're our boss, aren't you? You know how busy we've been.
Not very. Could use a little work. Getting jumpy sitting around here all the time, waiting for something to happen.
Could you now? From what I've been hearing, the 4 of you have been working out of this bar for some time now.
Well, with as little work as we get from the syndicate, gotta make ends meet somehow, right?
Ah, I see. So
Have to
you
bring
running
home
around behind my back, doing business operating out of my territory, that's my fault, is it?
Mm,
Now, for the record, there are no rules about you guys not being allowed to do any work that isn't for her.
she's posturing.
If you remember from last time, you guys are kind of allowed to do work as long as you're not interfering with Tau Syndicate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gren, have we done something wrong? Is that what you're implying? Are we not allowed to do work?
Oh, you're allowed to do work. But see, this is my territory. And she kind of like taps on the table as she's talking. As though like kind of gesturing at the ground. This is my territory. Areas I answer for. Every business operating here
Hey,
goes through me.
Mountie, when was the last time Gren pulled the job?
What did you say? You cut out.
Oh, just to Mountie, when was the last time that Gren pulled the job?
Dang. Trying to roast her here already?
Last time Gren did a job?
Uh-huh. If it's her territory, as she is saying, and it is, for all intents and purposes, shouldn't she be the one pulling the job?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. And he just goes back to kind of minding his own business
He's like,
not-
don't pull me into your bullshit.
and not getting involved.
See, Monty can't even remember the last time you were here.
So, Gren, what it comes down to is you may be our boss, and this may be your territory, but
Maybe.
we are not precluded because of that from doing work in this area.
Oh, I'm not saying you are, sweetie. But if you're doing work here, like anyone else of the hardworking people around here, you pay your taxes. Hmm?
And
Have you been paying your taxes for this side work you've been doing?
Well, we don't
We
much
have.
believe in
We
we
have.
don't much believe in organized government here.
She pulls a little like notebook out of her pocket
The
and
ledger.
opens it up. It's some kind of ledger and starts looking through it. But it kind of feels like she's just sort of flipping through it for effect.
It's full of
And-
doodles, actually.
Well, it's very clearly full of
Grocery
ledger
shopping
stuff. And she said, and then she kind of snaps it shut and she goes, "By my estimation, you're about 9,000 short." 9,000 behind what you should be paying.
Have you checked
Well,
out
let's
the actual syndicate? 'Cause-
Drix, you're good at math, right?
She shoots Mez like a fucking death stare.
Mez just kind of like flips her hair back, like,
Oh, good gravy. I did not say that.
Do you think it though?
Do you think it?
We all think of delicious warm gravy.
uh
I like it. I take it we don't have money just sitting around, right?
We have
Probably not
9,000
9,000.
on the table.
Well, you can look in your inventories. I don't know how much cash you guys start with, but
Got
if
10.
you have 9,000, you could just pay her.
We should just have a moment where we all like huddle together and like pull out all our pocket change. Or like, shit.
If we pull together, we could pay her 40 gold.
That sounds about right.
Now, what's Never mind. That's not an actual question. But John, so is it gold? Is gold the currency we're using here, or what's the currency? Credits.
I mean, we can do gold or credits. Credits, to be honest, feels a little generic to me.
Gold in a sci-fi setting would be cool. I think.
Yeah, you want to do gold?
Sure.
I'd be down to do gold.
Okay, cool. So it'll be gold. But there's, you can like transfer from your bank account. It's just that like, if you carry around cash, it might be in like coins,
All right,
kind of deal.
fair.
Right.
Yeah. Gold press latinum.
Yeah, gold press latinum. I swear the writers must have been like so proud when they came up with gold press latinum because they use it in every episode of DS9. I'll pay you 3 bars of gold press latinum. Like it's never consistent. The value of gold press latinum. So like 3 bars, 3 bars. That's so much, and then they're like 12,000 bars. You're like 12,000 bars. That's so much. Like they have the same impact. Because Star Trek like never fleshed out their economy or fleshed out their like the economic system. Anyway,
Because communism. Because I don't need it.
well, but the Ferengi do. The Ferengi still like trade in. That's their currency is
True,
bars of gold
but-
pressed latinum.
Hence why they didn't flesh it out, because they forgot.
Right. It's yeah. It's mostly just like in DS9. There's a ton of Ferengi stuff, so it becomes important.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about gold.
9,000 gold.
9,000 gold.
Well, listen, I don't think we've even made 9,000 gold. So for you to be trying to tax us 9,000 gold seems a little inaccurate. Perhaps you should have somebody check your math.
Guys.
Perhaps you should have someone check your mouth, Dorian.
A little hard to see it.
Ooh, dang.
Unmasked.
Gren, we'll get you your money. Do you have a job for us?
That's what I was gonna say.
I think jobs have gotten you in enough trouble as it is. My money tomorrow. Or else. She downs the rest of her drink, stands up, walks back over to the bar.
Certain death.
All right, group huddle.
Guys,
That went poorly. Could have
we
gone
need to
better.
find
She
work
left.
right now.
Yeah.
She's at the bar with the goons.
I look over to Dory and I kind of like shake my head, like, not yet, not yet.
Like what? I couldn't. I couldn't hear you.
I shake my head and say, and kind of give you the motion of like, not yet. We'll talk about this when she's gone.
All right.
I just continue to drink and wait until all of them leave the bar.
Okay, you need to pay your bar tabs. It's going to be 300 credits each.
Sweet
And then I'm
Christ.
kidding. I'm kidding. All right, the goons all down their shots. Gren kind of nods at Mowdy. Mowdy like nods back, like some mutual respect there. And Gren and the guards leave, or the goons. rather.
So long, Gren.
So we leave the planet, right?
I mean, unless we can come up with 9,000 gold by tomorrow.
Nope.
Perhaps we can find something going on the planet right now that will give us 9,000 gold.
Hold on, how much are our sky cards worth? Like 2,000?
I
Like, what's
vote.
the
So all of
scale
our
here?
equipment that we
Just
have.
sell your net worth.
Just liquidate. I don't think this is like the space IRS. They'll let us make payments.
Oh, we should have asked. You're right, Dorian.
Maybe you should ask instead of just insulting Gren to her face.
Yeah, probably could fuck
She
that.
seems like an asshole, so I can't be mad.
But regardless, we should, because we can't pay that. I vote we find a way off planet as quickly as possible.
How do you propose we do that?
Just want to leave home and never come back.
Yes.
Oh, like John.
I'm gone now.
I'll never come back.
Okay, so I may not have a way to get us off planet, but we should still try to do that. That is what I'm going for. That's the purpose of this is we now should try and get off planet as opposed to trying to pay her because I'm not made of money. I was made of money, but not anymore.
Well, how much? I mean, listen, I don't know a thing about interplanetary travel in this city or in this system, really. So, how much is a typical, ticket off this rock cost?
For a ticket to like somewhere in the system or to a different system entirely?
Well, all right. Well, I assume we're kind of familiar with how the Tau Syndicate works, right?
Yeah.
Oh, are we familiar with
Yep.
the range of their influence?
Within the system, they'd be able to find you without a huge amount of trouble, probably.
But we're not in trouble with Tau. We're in trouble with Grin.
Correct.
She's got connections. And I imagine if we run from the Syndicate, we are now an enemy of the Syndicate.
But we're not running from the Syndicate, right? We're just running from her.
Right, but if we're supposed to be doing jobs for the Syndicate, right, and doing work for them, and we just stop.
Well, if we disappear, we'll probably have at least a good, week before.
I suppose we could just get off. John, would I know, how... So I know that Gren's our boss, but, how, on the hierarchy of syndicateness,
Who's Gren's manager?
important?
Gren manages about... Gren manages a significant amount of territory. And a fairly large operation, considering. Relative to the whole planet and the whole size of this Tau Syndicate, there's probably 40 or 50 people of Gren's stature and importance in the operation. But they're spread across a planet of, what did I say, 30 billion people?
Yeah, 32 billion, something like that.
Well, I guess, guys, if we get out of just Gren's territory, we could still be in the syndicate system.
I mean, that's sort of a pain because all of our contacts are here. And all of our, we have experience in this area. So, I mean, if we leave here, we'll
But
just
also,
stay in this area.
But we also have to pay Gren 9,000. And I don't have that. I don't think you have that. I very much doubt Ma having that. And Drix could probably get it. if he stole it from a bank, but that's a whole different caper within itself.
When you say bank, my lizard nostrils kind of perk up a little bit.
Your lizard brain.
My
Can
lizard
they
brain.
see your nostrils?
Not nostrils. Nostrils. Like nostrils. I don't even know if that's a word, but what I meant was like my little lizard ears. You know, my little gross lizard ears.
Oh.
They like widen. Like, bank, you say?
But that's again if we should even do that. I John, how much is 9,000 relative to any? Is like that? Is that a lot, or is like that's just a lot?
How much did cars cost?
Fair point.
Mm.
If I remember correctly, the lowest one we could buy was the freighter at like 15 grand.
That's not a car.
That's a ship.
One of you has an air car, and it's like 2,500.
Bless you.
This bitch wants 4 air cars?
That's like a house.
Like
Yeah.
3.5 air cars?
Yep. That she wants by tomorrow.
Well, we could go lift 3.5 air cars.
Or we can do
Bless you.
half a sky bike.
Yeah. Or
Half.
just a single
15K.
sky bike.
Where's the nearest sky bike dealership?
Or we could leave the system.
We
Leaving the system
could.
seems like a hassle.
I want to go talk to Mowdy real quick.
All right, sidle on over.
All right, I sidle scantily over to Mowdy.
Scantily?
Yeah. Like, kind of, well, provocatively.
A little saucy.
Yeah, a little saucy.
To be fair, Usorans are like
Yeah.
almost reptilian.
Exactly. Is Mowdy the feminine Usoran, a masculine Usoran?
Usorians
Just
don't
like-
really have sexual dimorphism, so
Cool. So, I mean, I can, it is what it is.
it is what it is. That is,
It is
that
what
is
it is.
accurate.
Yeah. So anyway, sidle over to Mowdy. Hey, so I know that you were here. Just probably saw everything that went down. So Gren wants a fairly significant amount of credits or gold from us tomorrow, and
Why?
you know how she is. Just makes
Do-
demands.
Do I hear the why from Maddie?
Sure. Are you listening? I don't.
Yeah, I just like my, cause she's a bitch.
So we either need a big score or we need to get out of here. Now, I like you, and I like this bar, so I would prefer to be able to stay here. Do you have a line on anything we might be able to try, even if it's a little bit dangerous, that would be able to earn that kind of cash?
I'd say your best bet might be get it where the action really is these days. And he gestures up at the ceiling.
The attic?
Those new spaceports they built a few years back.
Base.
It's my intelligence.
Points at the ceiling, just
Oh, the spaceports.
insulation work?
Yeah.
As this though?
The spaceports.
Space
Solar
asbestos.
Space asbestos.
It'll give you space cancer.
Jesus.
Asbestos.
As space does. Ah,
Ports. I mean, in order for us to rob a port, we need to have at least some kind of way to get that cargo back to and from, right? Because they're not planet side. We have to get to the port.
We need a ship.
if you can get up there somehow, bet there's good money to be made.
Thanks, Maddie. You always know just what to say.
He kind of looks at you confused.
Guys,
Kind of wink back.
I may have a ship. Or, let me rephrase. I think I know of a ship. So,
Well, what are we waiting for?
well, this is a thing within itself. It's an impounded freighter. So,
Yes.
Yard.
we're stealing from the government. Yay, good us. But we're gonna need to figure out how to get it. So, I believe it's in the Impound off 7th District. Next to the Mercantile area. I believe that's where I remember it being. So we can go over and case it. Maybe get a ship. That would we'd be able to A, if we wanted to, leave, like I keep suggesting, or B, go to the spaceport and see if we can pull a 9,000 gold job.
Or
in a
we
day.
could sell the freighter out of the import, right? Or impound.
Why would we do that?
And what's a freighter worth?
But why would we do that?
I want to say 18.
18.
So I mean, if we sell the freighter, get our 9,000, then we buy a sky bike.
You realize that
One side for the four of us. Are we
Gren
gonna
is
share?
just going to keep increasing the amount of money that we owe her, right?
Yeah, of course. But
Could I have your roll perception?
It is 18. Click.
Shit.
Buttons.
Hell yeah.
Fuck me.
Oh.
Wait. Oh.
Richard, why are you rolling with advantage?
Did I roll with advantage?
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I clicked on advantage.
Anytime someone accidentally does that, I always just go with their first roll, though.
No, you always take the lower, right?
No, I take the first one.
That's how advantage works.
I don't want to
perceive
punish them.
Nothing. Wait, how did y'all specifically roll perception?
Through your character sheet.
Do you just click it?
Yeah, you could just click on it.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that for the future, but I don't have anything for it anyway. So, yep, I got a 3. I don't know. I look at the ceiling.
Space asbestos.
Yeah, Mez and Ma both examine the space asbestos.
Is there fungus up there? Can it be my friend?
Drix, you notice that as Mez says that, Mowdy kind of shakes his head, goes into the closet.
Says what?
Fuck,
About
what
the
did I
freighter?
say?
Oh, at the, she's just going to keep increasing the amount of stuff.
Oh,
So he knows.
that's what.
Everything. Perhaps we should discuss this outside of the bar.
But someone is so attached to it.
What?
You're so attached to this bar that you don't
Yeah.
want to leave it.
It's a good bar, man.
You guys leaving the bar?
Why
It's a
would
good
we
table.
leave the bar?
Yeah, why were we gonna leave the bar to talk about criminal activities?
And
Seems ill-advised. But
I'm gonna get up and go to the bar.
All right.
my spore senses are tingling. I feel like it's bad.
Nowdy knows something.
Well, hey, I mean, if he's not there at the bar, right, we can get free booze.
Just reach over and steal from the guy who's been hosting you.
Well, I mean, I'll pay him back. He knows me.
All right, Drix, so you're going to the bar?
Yeah.
All right.
Saunter.
All
Can I see in the closet?
Yeah, he's standing right there. You can see the edge of him.
What's he doing?
He's like fiddling with the whatever these are.
What?
The gas canisters or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Big green things. You alright?
I don't know.
What? You gonna say anything, Richard?
Just standing behind him.
He's thinking. Give me a minute.
I mean, I ain't got nothing better to think. Sitting at the bar. Slow. Chambers numbers.
Dude, I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna ask for some fucking space spiced rum.
You would, wouldn't you? Yeah, he comes out. He gives you some. Gives you some.
Thanks, Natty.
Yeah,
John,
on
did
the
I-
house.
John, did I also notice him shake his head?
No.
Rip.
What? I'm gonna ask him. So what's so? I saw him shake his head.
Mm-hmm.
When we were discussing the fact that Gren would keep increasing the amount of money we owe her, regardless of how much we pay her.
I'm gonna ask. So you hearing something? Maybe in that closet that you're not agreeing with, or something, or what's up, Natty?
He smirks and chuckles.
Smuckles.
Muckles. I like that.
I'm just. I'm sorry to see the four of you up against Gren.
Why is that?
Well, I've known Gren a long time. I've known you kids. I'm fond of the four of you, and
Yeah.
I know Gren pretty well. And I know what Gren can be capable of when she really wants something.
And I imagine Mez in the background again because she's a bitch.
It's Gren's tagline for the rest of the campaign. It's just 'cause he's a bitch.
Yep.
I mean, all she wants of us is just her cut, right? Or what she perceives as her cut.
Well,
Well.
I mean, we'll get the money. It'll all work out in the end.
So Gren's done this before then?
He shakes his head again. Can't say I've ever seen Gren pull something like this.
Mm.
Well, Mowdy, you're in with the syndicate, right?
More out these days than in.
But I mean, is there someone we could go to that might be able to tell Gren to back off?
Before you tell Gren to back off.
Well, not us, but maybe
She's been running. She's been running her sector for 12, 13 years. For you, you're not even blooded. They won't give you a second glance. Not against her.
surely it can't be good for Tau business to have Gren collecting stipends outside of Tau jurisdiction.
Well, I can't speak to that.
They probably don't care because she's taking money from us, not from the syndicate.
But by taking money from us, she hurts the syndicate as a whole, right? Because we're out here doing the legwork for the syndicate. We still work for the syndicate at the end of the day.
We're still doing side jobs.
What if
So
we
it's cool. Maybe
stop
Gren
working for the
is-
syndicate? What if we found Carver?
Space crickets.
Okay, hear me out. What if we changed employers? Someone who would offer us protection from Gren and the Tau.
I don't know. I worked for them my whole life.
If this is a conversation we're seriously considering, maybe having it in front of Maddie is not the best idea.
Well, he's retired.
Yeah.
Oh,
He says
okay.
He's our friend.
He's not an active member of the Tau Syndicate. He more just like keeps his ear open, and he's friends with pretty much everyone in this area that's in the Syndicate. And he liked you guys.
Basically, Uncle Mowdy.
Uncle Mowdy.
So, I'm of the opinion, because I don't want to pay her, because I said it earlier, that we leave the system, we take the freighter, and we just jam. We
The
go
whole system.
fly to space, do all the stuff, steal, rob, smuggle, and live our life in the stars. Or we find a different criminal group that will protect us from the Syndicate and from Gren. I'm of the opinion that we should leave this place.
It would be kind of neat to get off planet. Maybe I'll find myself out there.
While you looking for yourself. I mean, does anybody else have any other ideas about what we can do? I'm always up for robbing a bank. Maybe not a bank, but like, a large establishment.
Going off planet does not preclude us from robbing said banks.
That's true. If anything, we could rob the bank and then escape on our freighter. And have
Very
more
true.
than 9,000 credits.
Also true.
Maybe. We have to make a cot.
What, space heist. Or I guess like a planetary heist.
Well, it's a spaceport, right?
Well,
So we're robbing the spaceport?
well, we should start
the bank?
small. Because I don't know if we would be able to... Well, I don't know if we would be able to rob the spaceport fully. We may be able to rob a portion of it.
For the
Yeah.
record, these floating spaceport dock things, usually house like a pretty small population, somewhere in the range of like 6,000 to 10,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
But they're probably heavily guarded because they're a spaceport. They probably have security and stuff because they don't want ne'er-do-wells to come down to the planet. And a lot of it is for, I guess, dry docking of big ships.
I just realized me and Richard are both pen spinning right now.
I thought that was a knife,
What?
Richard.
A knife?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit!
Well, because you were
Richard's
like
taking his
that'd
pen
be
spinning to
fucking
the next
sweet.
level.
just like here, and all I saw was the end, and I thought that was the hilt of the knife. I'm like,
Yeah. And now I'm getting real on the character.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. I think our first course of action should be to go check out the impound lot and see if getting the freighter is even an option.
Let's do it.
So would we be so John, since I'm not
Yep.
super familiar with hyperlanes and how exactly it works. So I know that they encompass the science role into like, a couple different skills, right? At least according to the book. But what kind of information, I mean, we'd be looking to gather, like, I guess in this world, what would our characters know about how these government facilities operate? I assume we'd know at least a little bit, being criminals.
Yeah, you're mostly talking about low sophistication security drones. Um, uh, good number of security guards, maybe, but how many depends on the what they're guarding and what sort of priority that's been given by the government at any various time. Um, but other than that, security can vary from place to place, from laser tripwires to electric fences to even like force fields and hunter-seeker drones and like hunter-seeker mines and stuff. So it can really vary depending on what it is that you're trying to rob. Um, but for like an impound lot, probably guards, cameras, drones.
Okay.
I don't know if that's really what you were asking or if that's helpful.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just trying to get an idea of like whether when we go to gather information, if it'd be more of like a sciencey type thing, or if it's going to be more perception. Like because I mean, if like let's say we were doing this in D&D, like in D&D, I would know like okay, well we're looking for lookouts, for traps, stuff like that. I would know I'd want to roll like perception, maybe stealth, like and something like this. I'm just trying to think about like I guess the added.
Yeah, there could be levels of technology on top of things like perception and whatnot, but it sort of depends on what kind of questions you ask, what sort of things I make you roll.
Okay, all right, let's head over there. We'll figure it out. All right,
So you're going in person to the impound lot?
Is that what you guys want to do?
I kind of
Yep.
look at Drix and say, can we tap into feeds and look at the lot remotely?
Ooh.
Can I open up a
Smart.
page of space Google Maps?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
There's a bit of what's that called? The Kessler syndrome or something?
Yeah, lots of debris in the orbit.
Yeah, just like a shit ton of debris and satellites. So there's like 1 million satellites orbiting this planet. So there's plenty of satellite imaging of the planet's surface. Excuse me.
So we can get like a basic outline of the building. Would we want to look at camera feeds right now? I guess.
Suppose it doesn't hurt to scope it out before we actually just go over there. For all we know, they're having like, I don't know, the alumni reunion of all the guards.
Oh,
Wait, so why would we not want to?
Well, just because, like, yeah, what if we get seen over there?
like, is the information useful enough right now versus like when we're actually about to pull the heist?
Yeah. Well, no.
warrant the risk.
I think both is useful because we can kind of scope it out a little bit right now. Like, yes, there actually is a freighter there. Yes. Oh, hey, look, that has this kind of security at this point in time. But also, we're not really putting ourselves in danger of being seen investigating. We could do it remotely. And that way, when it's like midnight or whatever time or whatever we decide to do this, and we are stealthy, people won't go like, oh, hey, there were these people there at like 1 p.m. kind of checking this out. Looked a little weird. Maybe we should check them out. And it just goes from that to, there were people here. I don't know what they look like. They got away with the freighter.
John, where's this impound lot located?
In what did Jeremy say? Sector 3 near the
district or something.
7th district.
Yeah, 7th district.
Like,
Sure.
is it like a fucking, I don't know, like a junkyard area, or like is it commercial-y, industrial-y?
It's an impound, so it's basically like a large section, probably a couple hundred square kilometers, or like 100 square kilometers of impounded ships and sky cars and et cetera, et cetera.
Like Area 51 or like Central Park?
What?
Like in a city?
Oh,
What's around it?
well, basically the whole planet is a city.
Right. So there'd be traffic around it.
Yeah, some level of traffic.
So I think it doesn't matter if we're around the perimeter. I
Okay.
think we'd blend
Yeah,
in.
as long as we're like, fairly subtle.
Yeah.
Great. Then I pay Mowdy and say we go on our way. What do I have?
Thanks,
Out
Matt.
of away.
He said it was on the house because
Yeah.
we're broke.
I thought he was paying, giving Richard's drink on the house.
That is what he said, but drinks around the house right now because you kids are in a tough spot.
Thanks,
Aw.
Matty. I wink at him.
I
Like sideways?
also wink at him. Mine is more sexual.
Ooh, it's a competition now.
Yeah, Jeremy and I get into like an anime like arm bumping kind of situation,
Exactly. John,
Yeah.
what type of ship did I say that I had? A sky car? Is that what it was? No, I thought I had a... Blark, 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 blark,
You have
blark,
like whatever's
blark,
just above a
blark,
sky car.
blark.
Just above?
It's a blark, 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 blark.
The light freighter is 18K. Escape pod's 500.
Hey, you guys need to get off world. You need to
No,
escape.
no.
Did you have a racing pod?
That's what I thought it was.
You tell us you have a fucking freighter. We show up as fucking.
He's got a fucking
No.
Pod
Like, I
racer.
have a racing pod. Like,
a space
currently.
fucking Honda Civic souped up.
No, like, outside this building is a racing pod. Like,
That's
that is my
4,000.
normal, like, means of locomotion.
Okay.
Who else has vehicles?
I've got a car.
Are we gonna travel as one? How are we getting there? Are we carpooling?
Are we getting a space lift?
How discreet.
Space lift.
Space
Oh,
Uber.
Spasuber.
Do you have like decals on your racing pod? Is it, like really bright colors?
Um,
How loud is it?
What is it? I break for the Tau Syndicate or whatever.
no. Let's not say that.
Break for the Tau Syndicate. Oh fuck!
No, but I would think it's a one-seater, maybe a two-seater. Does that make sense? John?
Your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a one-seater. It
This
says
thing-
on there.
I'll
If you
drive.
look on the vehicles, it'll say battle stations, and that'll be how many people you need to man it.
Hmm.
Gunnery stations?
No, not gunnery stations. If you scroll down under that, in red it'll say battle stations under the little chart. It'll say battle station, and then it'll say like, "Hey, pilot, engineer, sensor," that kind of thing. So the racing
has
pod,
two?
Skycar does too. It has two.
It says engineering and piloting.
Really? That's weird.
The small
no,
urban
no.
family.
No, that's just one. That's just one. It's each A, B, C. Those are different people.
Oh, so it has one seat?
No. It requires one driver to operate. So I guess the battle stations isn't how many people it fits. That's how many people it takes to crew.
Okay.
And then
But
what
it
you're
has, like,
doing.
cargo slots for people.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't list where, like, how many, but I think it's supposed
Probably
to just
enough
sort of
for
be.
us. As long as we're not taking like a busload of people.
I'd say a sky car. We're just gonna assume that it's more or less like our cars, and it fits like 4 to 5 people.
Hey, we're 4.
It's like a sedan.
We're 4 to 5.
Yes, but some of us are voluminous mushroom creatures.
Yeah, you're the 5.
Exactly.
So Skycar.
Beep beep.
To the space minivan.
Beep, beep.
Anyone pitching in for gas money? All
We
right,
still
so
use fucking petrol?
yeah, all technology, even like hyperdrives, runs on gasoline.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah,
We go planets so quick.
yeah. They actually, what they did is, several million years ago, they designated a bunch of planets. They grew a bunch of plants on the planets, and then they fried the planets,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say dinosaurs. That's less
so
fun.
that in a few million years they could harvest the entire planet. As oh, I'm kidding. Anyway,
That's fine.
they're thinking ahead.
Millions of years.
It's a renewable resource if you have long enough time frame.
Well, yeah.
So the 4 of you head on over to the impound lot and take a look around. So let's see, how do we want to do this? Why don't each of you tell me what you're looking at or for when y'all are checking it out?
The ship.
So- Yeah, Jeremy knows what the ship looks like.
I'm checking out the ship, how I would be able to get it out, and every kind of all of those things about it. Of like, where's a good exit? Could I go straight up? Where are people? How would I be able to escape with it? Chase? What other ships there are? Could we do to like take more than one car, or like ships kind of split off and give more chase, and then I'm gonna spend a little bit of time like
Okay, wait. So what are you looking? What? let's let's try and keep this moderately simple here.
I'm looking at the ship, escape routes, and what else is in the lot.
What else is in the lot? Okay.
And then like a fourth
Just listening
thing
to
that I would
cops
be
in the
doing
background.
on the side would be checking like restrictions and stuff like that, like air travel stuff, like if you need licenses and crap like that, so we would be able to like just leave into space.
Okay. Well, that I don't think that's something you check here,
Okay.
right? That's something you would like Google. Like, do you need a license? Do you need a space driver's license?
Well, more like, do I need a permit to leave the planet?
Oh yeah.
Shit like that, because I have a
Go through
license.
space customs.
Yeah, do I have to go through space customs?
I'm gonna hang out on the space minivan, or in the space minivan, and kind of just keep my eyes peeled to make sure that, like, if we notice any kind of like authorities or anything, like not to be confused with the gang, the authorities, but if we them too. But if we see anybody who is not that we're not copacetic with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out.
You see some guys come by and they say, "We're the authorities," and you're like, "Cops or robbers?" And they're like, "Yes." And they gun you down.
Yes,
Shit.
exactly.
All right, Drix, what are you up to?
I'm gonna be looking for cameras near the freighter, lights, and like what kind of lights there are, and any sort of like access points that can be accessed outside and repurposed to be an access point into the facility, like computer access point.
Okay.
1d28.
Alrighty, and I'm for any security guards or drones or what have you.
John, I have a planetary communication device, or planetary communicator.
Is that a
Could
cell phone?
Could I give one of, like, presumably like the earpiece to Jeremy, and I can keep like the radio in the space car and talk to him?
So it's a communicator. I'm guessing it's more or less like a cell phone, right?
I guess I'm gonna look up. Maybe it planetary.
Are you the only one with that? Like, did no one else bring a phone?
Well, I started with it.
I don't have that in my item list.
All right, next we all got to go to the iPhone store.
All right, equipment for communication anywhere on the planet/moon.
Nice.
What? That's so vague.
Well, I can just telepath to anybody within 60 feet, so...
It weighs 2 pounds, so I'm assuming it's fairly large. But I assume it also has, again, like a communication.
It's an 80s phone. It's got like the whole box and everything.
Wait, what's the description?
Equipment for communications anywhere on the planet/moon.
I'd imagine it's like those satellite phones, right? Where you don't need like cell service. You can just kind of beam off of whatever the fuck.
See, I thought it was like a ham radio.
I don't know. But are you worried about like being able to signal?
Yeah, I want to be able
Mez?
to talk to Jeremy, like if I see somebody.
Okay. Everyone just write down fucking
Space
Basic-
cell phone.
basic communicator or something, because I feel like you should all just have that, because otherwise this is just going to be kind of silly.
Do I need one if I have telepathy?
Yes.
Your telepathy only reaches 60 feet, so if someone goes like beyond the building you're in,
If we're splitting up more than that, don't do it. Don't split the party.
More than 60 feet is splitting the party.
I need you. I need you next to
everyone
me.
must remain within 60 feet of Ma at all times.
I need an adult. I'm only 4 years old.
It's true. Ma is the baby of the party. All right. Okay, so let's see. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't know what happened to my mic there. For all those, I'd like you guys to roll either perception or investigation, and I will let you choose whichever one you would like.
Investigation
Second
for
focus.
sure.
Hey!
Hey, I did something.
Nice.
You mean to roll 2?
Yours will just be perception,
Okay.
because you're keeping an eye out for people nearby.
Right.
My God, Richard, you have so much investigation bonus.
Yeah.
6? Holy
And I
fuck.
still got 14.
Welcome to basically what I deal with all the time.
Welcome to D20 systems.
See, yeah, I like that you got almost the worst roll of anyone, and 2 of the people didn't have modifiers on theirs at all.
Yeah.
I could have had a -1.
Very nice.
Don't let me perceive things, people.
Yeah, Mez is not the wisest. Is that what we're getting at here?
Or
Yeah,
the
you've, like-
strongest.
Are you like nearsighted and our pilot?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That just speaks to how good of a pilot Mez is. She doesn't even need to see.
Pure feeling.
Yeah.
Complete instinct.
She is several leaves on the wind.
Oh.
A few blurry leaves, yes.
Okay, so let's go down the line. So Mez, you are able to figure out where the freighter is. It looks as though it has some kind of grounding lock on it that is attaching it to the port itself.
Okay.
Some sort of clamps that are holding it down. Let's see. What else did you ask about?
Escape routes.
Escape route. Well, it's outdoors, so up.
Okay.
Nice.
More like, are there tall buildings immediately next to this that I suppose going straight up, I would dart in there and be able to lose pursuers?
There's not a lot of tall buildings around here. This is a somewhat lower density area. So most of the buildings are not more than 4 or 5 stories tall. Basically, you don't build an impound lot in an area that's extremely built up and active, because that's a high value area. You know, you don't build your impound lot in the middle of downtown New York in Central Park. You build it in like the suburbs.
Yeah.
So
More, would I be able to fit the freighter between those buildings?
maybe on some of the bigger streets, but because the buildings are only, you know, what would that be, like 20 to 25 meters tall, and the ship itself is pretty wide.
Okay.
Um,
So up is the best option.
yeah, you might be able to like dodge through the buildings, but people could just like fly over the buildings and see you. You know what I'm saying? So
My third question was other vehicles that are in the lot that could be used as distractions.
there's like a shitload of like old kind of rusted out sky cars and recreational bikes and tractors and construction things.
Anything
I mean,
as big as
the whole
freighter?
place as big. The whole yard is, like I said, like 100 square kilometers.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah,
hundreds of vehicles in here.
Okay.
So there are some vehicles as big and some bigger than the freighter. You would assume that they are probably also ground locked the way this freighter is.
Yeah. Okay. I mention hey, Drix, we're gonna need to figure out how to get this ground lock off. Preferably off that freighter. I point to the one that we're casing, and then I point to something that's like maybe a little bit smaller. That would be a little bit faster in that one, so we can have and do these typically have like an autopilot?
Maybe more like a cruise control, like for
Yeah, that's good enough.
outer space kind of things, but not like a super sophisticated. More like I'm going to throw you in a straight line.
Perfect.
Keep
That's
going,
that's
kinda
that's
deal.
good enough because I would be able to just send it in one direction and let it go.
Hmm.
Perfect. And I kind of point to something that's roughly the same size, say, and the ground lock off of that one, because then I can use that as a distraction.
All right. So then over to our lizard person friend.
Eat.
So you were keeping a lookout for anyone coming near and sort of seeing that you guys are casing the joint.
Yeah.
Let me just roll here. So as you're just kind of hanging out nearby, you see two security guards walking around the perimeter of the sort of like the perimeter fence of the impound lot. You're able to direct your friends to kind of get out of their way or whatever, you know.
Mez, Jerks, two security guards, north side, breaker 5-9.
Jesus Christ,
Mez
that
just
was
goes,
really loud.
What the fuck? You don't need to be that loud.
Sorry. I won't put it in my mouth next time.
Okay, so you're able to successfully avoid those two guards.
Wait, Ma, do you have a communicator? Tell me you have a communicator.
Yeah.
Also, Ma. Good job, Richard.
It's a good thing that you said also Ma, because otherwise Ma might not have realized that the two guards were there. You know.
Sorry.
Um,
I didn't know if we had established if Ma communicated telepathically. But, alright.
Question:
Anyway.
Are you within 60 feet of me?
No, I don't think so.
So then, nah. We.
So can Ma respond, though, or only hear?
I mean, with the
Send or
communicator.
receive.
Well, no, like with the communicator, yeah.
Oh.
Ma, do you have a voice to actually, or like a mouth and a voice?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, an Australian accent. I mean,
It's
I
just
don't-
easier to think of people.
yes. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it probably sounds weird, although I ain't got no fancy voice boxity-ness over here to make me sound strange and rumbly. But yeah, I can talk.
Okay. Alright. I just didn't know.
But yes, I has a voice, although most of the time I will just think of you.
All right, Drix.
Hold
So
on.
Drix, you're checking.
And he's dead.
Bum, 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 da, da, da.
So Ma.
Yeah.
So you're looking for guards, correct?
Mhm. Question.
Yep.
So I have unseen servant. I know that's more of like an in-fight thing. Would that do anything out of fighting?
Unseen servants. Do you have that in your character sheet?
Yes. It's just sort of about like blending in a little more.
Yeah. I think that would apply here as well.
Cool. Just checking. But okay,
Yep.
yeah, I'm just seeing how many people I'm gonna need to beat up when we take this thing.
So you see that in addition to the two guards that you were warned about that are circling the fence, there seems to be several patrols that go around the perimeter. And then on top of that, there are towers placed periodically around the perimeter and inside the impound lot. And it looks like there's really just one person in each of those towers.
That's a bit of a handful.
Yeah. There's maybe like a kilometer in between each of those pairs of guards that are going along
Okay.
around the outer perimeter. All right. Drix.
Hello.
So you were looking for cameras, lights?
Cameras, lights, and
Action.
action. No. Cameras, lights, and anything around the place that might help me get into like the network.
Right. So you see under these large towers that are placed around the perimeter that there are large spotlights and cameras on them. And you can see that they're kind of moving around. So the lights aren't on right now because it's morning, but
Right.
the cameras are on. You assume. Maybe they're not. But at least the little motors are on that are turning the cameras and the lights.
Mhm.
You don't see any, obvious, like, press here to access our network kinds of things on the outside of the fence.
Damn it.
Um,
Hack here.
right? Yeah, that'd be pretty helpful. But you do see at the a little further in to the compound, there's a large building, not large. There's a couple story tall building, sort of jutting up between all the vehicles, and it appears to be lit. And across the side, you can see, you know, Blarga Blarg Industries Impound Lot Office number 123-86-Z.
12-3-86.
Yeah. Are you taking these notes down? I hope you guys are keeping good notes, because like every word that I say is vital to your ability to carry out these missions.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Good thing
Yeah.
I am recording this.
Jesus, I forgot we were being. The video surveillance is already in effect.
Big Brother's watching.
Okay. Any more like follow-up questions about the things that you have learned?
Do the guards appear to be armed?
Yes.
Oh.
Is
With what?
there?
The ones that you see circling around are carrying they have some kind of sidearm holstered on the side, on the side of their hip, and some of them seem to be carrying like some kind of zappy baton.
Don't tase me, bro.
You see one of the two that you saw, Dorian, had a shotgun slung over his back.
Ooh. I mean business.
Is there a central building where you'd be able to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like where do you pay your impound fees?
At that central building that says Blarga Blarg Industries Impound Lot number 123-something-something-Z.
Isn't it Space Flarga Flarga?
Yes.
Everything is spacier in space.
Cat.
What do you think? What do you think, Mars?
Judgment.
Yeah, he's looking very judgy right now.
I think I'm good. I want to do a little bit more research on if we can break the locks remotely, and all of my bureaucratic information that I need to know. What age do you get a space license? And like, do I need to pay the exit fee for the planet? Can I have planted goods?
All right, I've got a plan for when we're all back.
Ooh.
Give me the information.
Cool.
All right. So, Richard, did you have another question?
What was the fence like?
The fence?
Perimeter.
It's about 5 meters tall. It looks as though it is probably electrified somehow, though electrifying hundreds of kilometers of very tall fence would seem fairly expensive. But yeah.
Mez, can you? I know it's going to be risky, but what race are you again?
I am Alandi.
What's the predominant race in this area?
Eladar.
You mean this neighborhood or on this planet?
In this neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
This neighborhood is predominantly
Rolls a d6.
Yeah. Hush. It's predominantly human and Aki.
Well, what do you miss?
Alandar.
Space.
Drix, what are you?
Human.
All right. And then Ma, you're a giant mushroom creature, so you're a little bit. You stand out a little bit. But Drix, I'm gonna say over the communicator. Drix, would you be able to maybe take a look inside and get a good idea of what we're working with on the inside there in the main office?
Maybe. How like public is this place? Like, people go in and ask questions, or like you go in if you have business, and like you get authorized with the guardhouse and whatnot.
You have to go through a gatehouse to get to the main office. So you see a couple of people while you're casing it that go to the gatehouse, talk to the guard there, and then go inside. Yeah.
Are those people? I mean, like
Like
Are they
civilians,
just
not
civilians?
not like uniformed security officers, like civilians.
okay.
Excuse me.
All right.
Icon what was the make and model of that freighter that you wanted me to unlock?
It was isn't it a light freighter, John, if I remember correctly?
A Honda Light Civic.
It's the let me look at something. Where was it? There we go.
Wasn't it a Suzuki?
It's a Steel Series G237.
No, it's a Mercer system. It's a Mercer freighter. And the other one was it also was a Mercer. They're both similar Mercer makes, but the model was different. One's a light freighter, the other one's a shipping.
So we're trying to get the Mercer Light Freighter.
Yes.
These things have like license plates.
They have serial numbers that have to be printed on various parts of the ship.
Presume none of us could see these numbers as they're too tiny.
No, you can see them. They're moderately big.
Okay. What was the number of that? Number. Cool.
Don't forget that couple
Yeah.
letters in there.
Are there letters in these?
Yep.
Is it like trucks where it's like one letter in the beginning and then just numbers?
You've been playing too much Euro Truck Simulator, my friend.
No, you just look around. Open your eyes, John.
Open your eyes. Dude, I've been chugging water and continually thirsty. This is...
Diabetes.
I don't know what's going on with me.
Diabetes.
Boy, better knock on wood. Don't be jinxing them.
Welcome to California.
You're dehydrated. You need that.
Welcome to California, where everything's too hot and there's not enough water.
Yeah.
And the points don't matter.
And your wage doesn't matter.
Oof.
Damn, Austin, why you gotta tell it like it is?
Austin, you just made three of us really sad.
Am I dead?
Insert Simpsons meme. I mean, it's true, but why did you say it?
The three of us that still live in California just got real sad.
It's not like Richard doesn't live in New York. Also extremely expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't get that. That's just fucking
Obscene.
yeah.
What are we getting?
See, but like, that's
I don't
the
understand
thing
living in New
turtles
York.
are.
I barely understand living in Los Angeles.
I guess jobs pay better, maybe? I don't know.
Don't you work from home?
Yeah, I didn't choose to live here.
Oh, okay.
He was forced at gunpoint to move 3,000 miles.
That's true. Alright, so what are you doing, Richard?
Is it a drive-through or can I walk through that shit?
You walk.
Drive through impound line,
Am I
stay
dead
on
again?
insult to injury.
Why do I keep dying? Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Did you hear anything I said?
Drive through impound lot?
Is it a drive-through or can I walk?
And then we said probably walk. right?
You can walk.
Is that weird?
No.
I'm gonna walk over there.
Okay. There's a Sicar guard in the booth.
Ooh.
Looks kind of uncomfortable because it's a fairly small booth and Sicar like 7 feet tall.
Wow.
So kind of, oh my, kind of cramped into the booth. Yep, state your
Russian's
business.
got needs.
Did Richard die again?
Yep.
Yep.
Hello?
Oh, let's see. You're really good at holding this pose.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I can't tell when Richard goes out because this video, it just looks like he's like
Thinking.
really thinking about something. Just like,
Hello?
Oh my
Hi.
god. Oh, you fucking asshole.
that was beautiful.
He knew
All
what
right,
he was
so
doing.
state your
Covered his
business.
mouth and everything too.
What accent should the car guard have?
Can it be Cockney?
Oh, jeez.
State your business. I can't do a very good Cockney accent, but I'm gonna try.
Well, just keep whatever that is.
I'm just gonna keep going on, and we're gonna pretend that this is working.
Asking about my freighter.
Day of impounding.
Fucking.
What system do they use for fucking calendars in the future?
Same as Star Trek.
When you're on a planet, it would probably be that planet's dating system.
Oh fuck.
But yeah,
Like-
that gets really complicated. And so there's a generally accepted a translator between dates where it will figure out if you take a date from Etrea and you plug it into this, it'll tell you what date that would be on any other planet. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Sure.
Because
This is like
the
last
star
month.
dates in Star Trek never make any goddamn sense either.
Nope. That's why I said it.
Just
Last-
a randomized string of numbers.
How much you want to bet? I Google Stardate, like number system, and there'll be like an in-depth essay on it.
They actually
There will,
have
there will be
sure.
at least.
but they have said that there's a number of times where the star dates just don't make sense. And it's just like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense.
Because the writers aren't going to create that super convoluted system
Why not?
in the first episode, right? Like, maybe they would do it later. But in, like, the original series, that was back before you had to try. So, like,
Yeah.
there's going to be stuff that doesn't make any sense. Anyway. Date of impounding. Name and license registration number.
It was like last month or something. I've got the number of it. It was a Mercer Freighter 23C 901750012.
All right. And your business here today?
Just inquiring to see what's gonna take to get that motherfucker out.
Good luck with that. And he clicks a button and it buzzes you into the building.
Thanks.
Nice.
Walking.
All right.
Infiltrated.
Expertly infiltrated the DMV.
I'm in.
The great DMV heist of Stardate 287346.86.
Oh, Jesus.
First D in D&D is DMV, right?
See,
Yeah.
There's too many fucking acronyms.
the great thing is,
Department of Motor Vehicles and Dragons.
see, Sean, the awesome thing is now I have a recording of whatever Stardate you said, so I can always just go back to that one and say, "Wow, this is really wrong," compared to the one you just said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, John.
No, see, there's a system behind all of these, Jeremy. I have a list that I generated that are in chronological order, and so when I say one to you guys, I just put a little label next to it that says which one I associate it with, so I can keep everything straight. This is all
awesome.
consistent, but if you want to go through and reverse engineer my dating system, you're welcome. No, anyway. You enter the office, and it's really just like the most stereotypically shitty, like fluorescent lighting, like two employees behind the counter that look like super like dead in their eyes. There's like 4 people waiting in line. Excuse me, that look like they've been there for hours. There's like a really slow moving ceiling fan that is making like this. On each rotation, it's going like. So, yeah, just to like paint a little picture, it smells like vaguely mildewy in here.
Jesus Christ.
Anything in the way of cameras, guards?
Both of the people behind the counters are uniformed. You can't tell if they're armed because they're standing behind a fairly high counter. There are at least 3 cameras that you can see while you're in here. Could you do a stealth check for me, please? Just so that you're, looking for where the cameras are without like openly staring at the walls. Like,
Camera! Look a camera!
yeah, like
There's one.
you're like, boy, I wonder how many cameras I could spot in here. Like
1, 2.
1 camera, 2 cameras.
Watch your real shit.
How you
All
roll,
right.
right?
Neither of the people behind the counter give you any attention.
Drix, what are you seeing there?
Ignore that.
Wow.
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 Because it would be kind of suspicious if he just starts talking to himself inside the DMV.
I'm gonna go stand in line and just like casually look around the place and look at exits, doors. Is there like a side door? Is it like a? Is it how big is this room?
This room is maybe. Trying to think of a reference that we would all know.
A cubic by a cubit?
Yeah, it's approximately 3 cubits high and 6 cubits deep.
How many cubic miles is it?
The weight of the glass is approximately 6 stones.
God, that's a heavy glass.
The counter is 10 hands tall.
Are those imperial hands or metric hands?
Those are Sicarian hegemonic hands. The room, it's pretty small. If you look on our map, it's like maybe the size of the bar in the cantina.
Okay.
So yeah, so like it's not tiny, but it's definitely not like an expansive kind of room. And basically, one wall is just the counter with glass between you and them. And on the other side is these two attendants um, computers and records and that kind of thing. And then in the main lobby area is pretty much just like chairs to wait at, and like a counter along one wall for you to like fill out your paperwork on.
So like
There's a couple of computer
DMV.
terminals. Yeah, it very much feels like a modern DMV.
Right.
It's just kind of a very slow-moving, low-stakes office. The people there are not paid enough to care. And you can't really blame them for not caring.
Is there really not a bluff check in? Oh yeah, there is. Okay, it's deception. I was like, what the fuck?
What are the rest of you doing while Drix thinks?
After having scoped out the vehicles and stuff, can you buy vehicles from an impound that aren't yours?
They do like auctions and stuff.
Yeah, it would be an event. It would be an auction. You go to the auction and buy stuff. You don't just.
I mean,
it's not like a used car lot where you just show up and buy things.
I'm sure if you had enough money, you could be like, hey, take that off your hands, no paperwork. But
Well, I mean, if
officially,
we-
yeah, probably in a
Right. I mean, you try and bribe your way through it, but a lot of the stuff in the impound lot, like it has to be in the impound lot for a certain amount of time for it to be able to be sold. And so they just like check periodically when that might have happened, and then they take all those vehicles and put them on auction.
Right. Okay, then I just, after I've scoped it out, I kind of go back and look at the... I go back to the car and hang out
Okay.
with Dorian.
Oh, you're back at the car.
Mm-hmm.
I asked, were you seen?
I don't think so. Weren't you keeping watch?
I mean, yeah, but did you see anything I didn't see?
John.
So how's security?
You know, I honestly wasn't paying attention. I think I saw a couple guards, but I don't know what they were carrying. They were kind of away from me, so I saw maybe like two. I don't know.
Ma, why are you rolling stealth? What's going on?
I was gonna say, I just want to keep walking around the lot. See if I see anything extra. And I was gonna try and do it even stealthier than my.
Okay, so as you're walking around, you round a corner and find yourself face to face with two guards who have been circling, just doing their patrol. And they just kind of stop for a second to look at you, like expecting you to kind of explain what you're doing.
State your business.
I think. Hello.
Hello.
Question: do they have any problem with that?
I'm trying to think if they would.
What are they?
They're both human.
Just curious.
A lot of humans in this area.
That's what I said, human and Aki. Ma, could you roll a 1d6?
There's a sushi place by here called Aki.
One of them just kind of like goes wide-eyed, staring at you when you think hello into their head. What? Kind of like looks at the other one looks at them. Who are you?
Okay. Think. I'm just admiring the scenery.
Admiring the scenery, huh?
Ew. Ew.
You know what? I'm trying to add some
I'm not.
flavor. And
John,
It's
I
not your
love it.
fault,
I
John.
appreciate you.
and
I
I
100% appreciate it.
Shut
I
up,
hate the
Austin.
French.
Don't listen to him.
that
John, you're doing great. Keep doing it.
admiring
Keep doing
the okay, Austin. Now every single character is going to have a terrible French accent.
There's definitely some flavor.
Also, that wasn't supposed to be a French accent, so that's not good.
I thought it was
no.
German.
It was supposed to be German. But,
Okay.
I just don't know accents that I
But perhaps I should just talk about how you are admiring this scenery. And why might you be admiring this scenery like that? And why are you speaking in my head?
I'll just think it and be like, it's easier for me. I can stop though.
I think I would appreciate that. And he looks kind of wigged out a little bit.
I say, okay. Oh, for the record, so when I talk, you don't see my mouth move. But you can hear me.
Are you wearing a spacesuit?
Yeah.
Okay. So how clearly evident is it that you're a Bombra?
Oh, well, remember, so I don't have a because my cap is huge.
Right. Okay, so
So
it's very clear that you're a Bombra.
it's very clear.
All right.
I am a white and black mushroom, and there is goo coming off of me.
Well, go enjoy the scenery somewhere else. He just looks kind of like unnerved and shaken.
How tall is he?
About 5'3".
Okay. I guess I'll just look down at him and say, okay.
The two of them continue on.
I need a baguette to clear my mind.
That was a good accent. You should do your characters with that accent.
I prefer not to.
Lame.
Okay, so Dorian is French.
No,
So what I heard
he's
was
a lizard.
all
He's
of
a
the
French
lizards.
lizard.
All of those.
I am an iguana. Ha, ha, ha.
Il Guanel.
Usher said, good day, mate.
In our natural environment, we eat the snails. That is why we are the French.
Oh,
Lizards eat snails. All right. So Drix,
Hi.
what are you doing in there?
Seeing as the line hasn't moved yet, I'm gonna just go walk over to the computer terminals on the wall.
All right.
I'm gonna select human English.
you.
What
Okay.
other buttons do I see?
Well, there's human. There's also galactic common. There's Aki Scritch Scratch and
Scratch.
Sikaran on there.
You know what? I'll practice my Akian.
All right.
Choose Aki.
You speak Achaean too?
Yeah.
So the screen is covered in a series of interlaced lines, and sort of jagged curves and whatnot. And it's basically just asking you to say like bit more or less the information that the guy at the guard booth wanted. Of like date of impounding, model number, license number, registry verification thing, blah blah blah.
Is it like a form or like a search thing or like a? Can I just put in the information that I know, or does it require field?
Um. Yeah, it has a search function on it, so you can search through the stuff that's in the impound lot.
I'll search up the license of the ship that doesn't belong to us.
Of the second ship.
Yeah.
Okay, because none of these ships belong to you.
Well, I thought Nez said that it's her ship or something.
So you're looking up the other ship, and you see that it's a light interplanetary cargo hauler. Basically, it's the same size as the other one, but it doesn't actually have a warp drive on it, so it's not capable of leaving the star system. It just moves around within the star system or on a planet.
Right.
It's been impounded for 18 months. The current fee waiting on it is 5,600 credits. It doesn't say who the like actual owner is. It says will be available for auction 6 months.
5,600 credits. What a steal.
No, that's the fee. That's the penalties on it.
Yeah.
Like for them to get their ship back, they would
Yeah.
need to pay 5,600 credits.
Right.
But presumably, whoever they are, they also paid for the ship itself.
But we didn't, so what a steal.
That's true.
Nor will we. If everything goes well.
Are these terminals like in little tiny cubicle like things? Like with little tiny dividers on them for basic privacy.
yeah, but the dividers are kind of a joke. They're like 5 inches long. They like barely come out from the wall.
Okay. How good of an angle do these cameras have on me? On the screen, actually.
Um,
And did they look like good cameras?
they're pretty decent cameras. These aren't like like old shitty 80s cameras.
These can actually zoom in and enhance.
They've got like they have like at least 4 megapixels on them. Like roll 1d4 for me, please.
Roll 1d4. 3.
They have 3 megapixels.
They have somewhat of an angle on you, but like they can see the screen and they can see you, but they can't. It's not like a great angle, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. It's not like it's directly behind you, pointed at the screen.
Right. I'm gonna try and discreetly as I can, kind of like get in the way of the camera and like just look dejected at this screen. Right, just slouch over to a side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to patch in with my splicer thingy.
So what's your splicer thingy?
If I click this, it didn't work. If I hit this one, that's my splicer thingy.
Oh, cool. That's cool. You may spend an action to gain access to the basic functions of the computer system. Good lord. Do you have security tools?
If they're tiny, sure.
Okay, well that'll just take you a little bit longer if not. Right. So you managed to patch in and you're now you have access to the basic functions of the computer system. So what you doing?
What options do I have?
The menu. Start, load save game, new save file, graphics options.
Graphics option.
You can access database, see pending requests.
Drix, what's going on in there, bud? Just trying to plan this heist. Some information out here.
Richard, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you answer him?
Not even like a hacker voice I'm in.
I'm in.
95%. 98%. I'm in.
Okay. I like kind of quietly, like to myself, say, "Man, these computers are so old."
Understood.
What a good code.
Yeah,
Code.
we've discussed this before.
In Thieves' Camp, that actually means
Yeah.
run as fast as you can.
Stop. That'd be a good
Should I
Thieves
watch
Camp.
that video?
That's a good video.
It's a cool video.
That'd be a good Thieves Camp for I'm in.
I want to maybe experiment with having some sorts of Thieves' Cants that you guys have, of like codes and cultural understandings amongst roguish types.
Alright, so alright, understood. Drix. Here's my plan. I'm gonna say this in a Kayan. So in case there's like we're not necessarily on a secure channel, not everybody's gonna know.
Okay.
But so my plan is I need you to first get a good look at the uniforms everyone is wearing. I want to impersonate some government inspectors, and then if you could write in the database that we're planning on showing up tomorrow for the schedule, like in their whatever their schedule system is. We can show up tomorrow. I can forge some licenses for 3 of us, and then sneak us in. Once we're in, you can interface more easily with their system, have the locks released from the impound. Mez can fly the ship, and then Ma can get us through the gate into the ship. I don't know. Listen, it's a plan in progress, but what I'm trying to say is,
I mean, it's a plan, so.
if we can get in, so what I need you to do is, one, take note of their uniforms. See if you can get your hands on what one of their licenses might look like, so it'd be easier to forge one. And then put 3 pseudonyms in the database so that we can sneak in tomorrow. And then maybe, whatever else you want to do, I don't know. It's up to you.
Shiny. Let's be bad guys.
A tap
Wait.
here.
Fuck, we can't do it tomorrow. It has to be today. Today, then. Has to be today. Like, later today.
It's quite the last minute heist.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start looking through. Can I pull up a timetable thing? Appointments? A Google spreadsheet?
Yeah, there's no appointments for today.
Not yet.
Add appointment. .exe.
You have to do like the hacker, like typing super fast, and just like a bunch of like orange text on a black screen, like scrolling down, and then it just like cut to like a Google Calendar and just like boop.
No, see, what I really want is Richard doing it, but it's just like a really antiquated calendar system. It's like, just fuck click. Click.
It's a loading bar for every.
Inspection. Enter. Confirm. Confirm.
Appointment app.
Totally forgot what else you wanted me to do.
So, make the appointment. Try to see if you can look inside to see like what their badges look like. Like if they have like pictures of their badges or anything, like employee records.
Hold up, if we're inspecting, why the fuck would we have their badges?
We'd have government badges.
Yeah, well, but we kind of want to know like generally what needs to be on it, you know?
Toby, after your encounter with the guards, what are you up to?
Oh, I went back to the car.
Okay.
Welcome, Take a seat. We've got the space AC on. It's nice.
So if the guards are all like that guy, I think I can take them. I have to toot my own
So were you seen?
cap. I was.
Yeah.
But I just told them that I went for a stroll. Who is this man with this strange accent?
It sounded a bit like this, and he said "ha ha ha" a lot.
I already hate him.
He sucks.
Oh, you know, that's right. I can actually think that to them, so they're literally hear what he sounds like.
You can beam bad French accents into Austin's brain.
So many of them.
Fucking kill me.
Nice, Richard.
In case that's not clear, I'm searching for anything that could be an ID card or like any sort of records that would have those sorts of.
Huh. Do you have like hacking moves? I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know how hacking works, so I'm not sure how like difficult this should be, or if I should just be like, you do it. Like I don't,
So,
you know, like.
So I can roll for security tools or like science. Did you just change my page?
Yeah.
If you click on the cog, it'll open up the description.
Oh, okay.
D&D sci-fi.
Huh. Yeah, you don't have like there's not like a hacking role.
I guess it'd be a science role, right?
Or security tools.
Or security, yeah.
Are security tools like hacking tools, or like?
I think they say they're both, like lockpicking and hacking, or like they're the same. I don't know, but like that's what they have for Slicer. Or
Okay. Then let's have you roll your proficiency with security tools to see how effectively you can hack in because the ID cards would be something that they would have some kind of security around.
Sure. I'm
Okay.
real average here.
Yeah, rolling a lot of 8s. So yeah, you get access to the security cards. You can see, or their ID cards, so you can see what the ID cards look like.
So I'll download that to my thumb drive.
Ay, ay, ay. Playing D&D with a person playing a hacker who's actually a coder in real life.
Good times.
Just opening a whole can of worms.
Worms are cool. Let's see. Okay, I do want to cast a spell though. I want to see where these cameras are being controlled from. So I have the spell called Trace Source. If I click on this, it doesn't actually roll anything? How does spell work? How do spell do?
How do spells work?
If I click. Yeah, okay, I clicked on it. So that's what I want to cast. So I have a Gambit save. I have a Gambit attack. How do you spellcast?
What do you mean?
How do you cast a spell?
Like, how do you do trace source?
Yeah.
You do it.
I
There's-
just fucking expend the slot and it's done.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. I'll do
Yeah.
that on camera.
Because, I would assume so, because that's how spells in normal D&D work.
Is
Like,
it?
unless they
Unless it's
say
an
to, unless they say to do an attack. Like, for instance, magic missile. Like, you don't actually roll an attack roll for that. You just cast magic missile.
And then they
Then they try to avoid it or something.
okay.
Magic missile automatically hits.
Or yeah, magic. That's why that example came to my head. Thank you. Because
Oh.
magic missile just hits, right? So this just does.
It's so weird. Okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a strange thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're sorry. Say again what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to find where the cameras are being controlled from.
It's this computer. It's the one computer you're at, Richard.
Yeah, it's the public access terminals that you use to search. The cameras. You mean in this room?
Yes. Well, it's within 10 squares, so yeah. In the...
These are coming from the security, some kind of security office above. There's some kind of security terminal on the second floor of this building.
Okay.
And it's whatever these are connected to.
I need to do anything else in here. Yeah, okay. Let's just log out of this and reset it back to its normal functionality.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to... I'm just going to stand back in line. Has it moved?
No, it has not.
Okay. I'm going to stand back in line and wait for a bit.
Purgatory.
Now serving C3.
Now serving C2.
Again.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. But
All right, so Drix, you're heading back.
Yeah.
All right. So the four of you meet up back at the minivan,
Space minivan.
the space minivan,
Great.
the air
so
van.
who's the mom of this group then?
I start her up and pilot us away.
Where do you guys go?
For the duration of the conversation, I say we should, how far is the bar from here?
Half hour.
I take us across the street, a couple streets away, so we're not immediately next to it. And
Come plotting.
Okay.
All
So
right,
there you
boys.
sit.
Boys and girls. Fun guy. Here's my idea. So, I haven't been seen. Drix, you have made contact with the guard at the front. I did want to wait till tomorrow to see if maybe there was going to be somebody else working, but we don't have that kind of time. So we might have to get a little creative. Ma, you came face to face with the guards, so might not be a good idea for you to try coming in with us. And Mez, you were not seen. So here's my plan. A little bit about me. I can forge documents fairly well. So what I'm thinking is we download a picture of these. We download the files that Drix took of the ID cards. We jumble them around a little bit to make them look like we're inspectors from I don't know what government body would control the DMV, like the Department of Transportation, maybe something like that. So we're inspectors from the Department of Transportation doing our annual inspection. We go in. Mez, you will go and inspect the ships, or you'll go into the ship that we're trying to take under the guise of inspecting ships. Drix, you will attempt to interface with the main computers and get the locks to let go of the ship that we're trying to take. Once that starts, I assume there's going to be quite a bit of confusion. So in the confusion, Ma, you and I will kind of get everybody on the ground, and the three of us that are not on the ship will make our way towards the ship and deal with any kind of resistance that there might be on the way, and then we get the hell out of here.
You got it, Bob.
yes, several things though.
Okay.
I'm trying to make it a little easier. So, I also am gonna have Drix unlock the locks on the Mercer shipping container or shipping ship, because that way I can just send that out into orbit. They can chase that all they want. The other thing is, I think the freighter will have room for the space car, so we may be able to slot it in there and use that as additional transport. But we will need to have someone get it into the transport, or we could just come back for it. But again, we might just be, once we get on the ship, we might just be going into orbit. Or do we want to take the ship and try and go to a busier part of town that is far away from here and pick up my racing pod and then come back with that and get the car?
presumably once we take the ship, it won't be very long until they realize what's going on and try following us. So I don't know how much time we're going to have.
I agree. But I still think we should use the Sky Car and the Racing Pod. We should try and keep those because those are beneficial to us. It doesn't make sense to just...
Which one would you like to keep more?
John, how much room does the Racing Pod have?
Sorry?
How much room does the Racing Pod have? Or is it just that, where it's just built for racing, not much room in it?
I'm imagining the racing pod being a very streamlined single-person vehicle.
Okay, then, so it's not that beneficial for smuggling, what I'm trying to say.
Question: can we strap it to the space van?
Can we put it inside the space van? Like, would it fit in the space van?
Does it list the tonnage?
Hmm.
It does not list the tonnage.
So it probably weighs a ton.
Less than a ton, probably. How much does a motorcycle weigh? 400 pounds?
Could you fit it in the Sky Car? I don't think you could fit it in the Sky Car.
It does
Could
say
we,
size small.
Trail it, like hitch it to the Sky Car?
Size... Oh yeah, size small, size medium. Wow, and a fighter plane is size medium.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Yeah, fighter plane. It's like a 2-seater with goddamn laser cannons on it.
That's pretty cool.
Pow!
Mapow.
Okay, recreational skybike is also size small, so I'm thinking that this is essentially like, can I put a motorcycle in my Honda Civic?
The answer is no.
I'm thinking no, unless maybe you did some modifications, like took out seats to put it in there.
I mean, would we have seats? Do criminals have seats in their vans?
Have you guys just been standing when Jeremy's driving you around?
It's
I
a
don't know,
testament to how great of a driver he is.
there's like benches in the back or something. I don't know.
It's true, I could see that. But here's the problem, are we going to be able to fit the skybike in there and then all also fit in there to get to the heist location? Probably not.
I mean, so somebody could take the bike, we get in the van, we drive over there and attach, then we put the bike into the van, and then just one person has to take it into the ship we're about to steal.
Ma, would you be able to put the bike in the van by yourself?
I mean, if it's a strength thing, I would reckon I'm strong enough to do that.
What is your strength, Mom?
13?
13.
You're lifting a large motorcycle into a car?
Well, not necessarily lifting, like, can I go find 2 pieces of wood and, like, make a ramp and just push it up? Like,
Mayhaps winch it into the...
Put a pulley system with a
Yeah.
counterweight.
Rig a
I mean, I
pulley
can push
system.
my dad's motorcycle, so, I mean, if I just make a ramp, then, like, I'm sure this
That's
giant
true.
mushroom person can
And I've
push
never
it.
met you, but I don't think you're a giant mushroom. So,
Sure.
I mean... So... What's the plan, guys? What's the plan for the one day of planning heist?
The afternoon heist.
Afternoon heist.
I say we at least take the Sky Car. Like, we should at least figure out a way to get the Sky Car into the freighter so we can keep it.
Well, how big is the freighter? Is it like a Firefly size?
Yeah.
Okay, then we can easily fit a sky car. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
So-
more a matter of getting your sky car to the freighter.
Yeah.
well, then why don't we do this? Why don't we modify the plan so that you just drive the sky car through the fence, and then we'll drop the lid of the we'll drop the cargo hangar, right, and you just drive it right on in. We pull everybody in and just dip out.
Yeah, so we basically
Oh,
keep the
good.
plan mostly the same, but after I do some inspections, we get the clamp unlocked, and I drop the cargo hangar. Ma just drives straight in, and then
Yeah.
we
For
leave.
the record, I'm not. I mean, do I need to be proficient in driving the sky car?
I mean, how hard?
I
could
thought
it
you
be?
had vehicle proficiency.
Because I have it, but it's for a garbage scow and a racing pod, actually. Now
Yeah, I mean, if you could drive a garbage scow, you could probably drive a sky car, right? Like they're kind of the same thing.
I mean, I don't have a problem. I mean, if I don't need it, then I'll do it. But I'm just pointing that out there that I am not proficient in the sky car.
Is it a stick sky car or an automatic sky car?
It's an automatic stick.
I hate you. It's got one of those little the little bumper things. They're not bumpers, but little paddles. Switch between. I love those things.
And then how
Okay.
much would the fence really mess up the sky car if we drove it through?
Was it just like a chain link fence, or
It's an electric fence.
oh, it is?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think?
Nobody wanted to touch it or like throw a leaf at it to find out.
No. Well, what we also could do is Ma just stays in the car, and
So
I
for driving
fly.
the sky car into the fence. Oh, was I dead?
Yeah.
Oops.
One of you talk.
What we could do is, Ma stays in the sky car. We get the freighter, pull it outside the fence, and like swoop down low. Sky car in, fly away.
So shouldn't we drive in to be more official? Like, do government officials just walk through the gatehouse?
He has a
Like
point.
peasants?
Yeah, but the problem is we don't have like a government vehicle. So
I think
Can't
that just
forge
comes.
government decals.
Yeah, no. I don't think you need.
How much
government-
time do we have? Can we fix up the cars? This is like
I
the
don't
aerial
think you
job
need government
in
decal. I think you
South
just need government information. Because if it's in the system that this is the government car, it's not going to matter. Because
well,
like, there are unmarked government cars.
how shitty does our car look?
How
it say-
shitty does your
it-
car look?
Does it say I only brake for Tau?
we peel off the bumper sticker real quick.
Do you guys do you guys want to take the car testicles off the back?
No. We leave those.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
really
a dead
show.
We have one of
giveaway
those,
to
like,
your dead giveaway to your
families
government.
in the back.
It's like
So it's like a lizard person, a human.
It's the start of a bad joke. Lizard person, a human, or whatever the hell Jeremy is, and a mushroom.
Elf. I'm an elf.
Elf.
I'm an elf.
A spelf.
Stealth.
Space elf.
I agree with Richard that we should drive in.
Okay, how much time do we have? Well, I guess, John, what do we got to roll to spoof up this car? A little bit.
When does the Space DMV close? Actually, what time did you schedule the appointment for, Richard?
About 10 minutes
the-
ago.
You're already late.
The least busy sounding of the times, either before closing or after closing.
1400.
That one. What?
And right now they close at 2 o'clock.
It's like a 16-hour planet.
Huh?
A day. This is like a 16-hour day on the planet.
I didn't say that's when they close. I said that's when they're not busy.
Oh.
When we started today, your conversation with Gren was at 7 a.m. And it's
We are-
drinking.
it's a 28-hour planetary cycle.
We should go to rehab, all of us.
All of us. Drinking at 7 a.m. Wake up, not
Hey,
coming back.
I rolled, and that's what the thing said you were doing. So I don't know if you guys have been drinking all night.
Yeah, we're just keeping the buzz going.
Keeping the party going, yeah. All right. So yeah, what do we need to do to fix the sky car up real quick? Make it look presentable.
Well, tell me what your sky car looks like.
Jeremy.
Pristine.
This isn't Jeremy's sky car.
It's my
It's
sky
not? Oh, Richard, what's your sky car look like?
car. Super bland. Kind of like a not quite white, not quite black, gray.
Nice.
It says
really-
"I'm from the government" on it.
I heart the law.
I only break for lawful citizens.
God.
I don't know, not dingy.
I think it
Am I dead?
looks unassuming.
Yeah. Not like a street racer or anything.
Is there any body damage?
I don't think I'm a bad driver.
All right, we'll do a quick once over. Make sure there's no body damage. If there is, we'll fix it, and then I guess we'll go in.
Yeah, do we have clothes or something? Oh
Yeah, we should figure out disguises and also the documents we need to forge. Okay. So, what did their outfits look like, jerks?
Like outfit.
Well, John, what did their outfits look like?
Um,
Are they just generic
yeah, generic
Yeah,
gray
1, 2, 3.
uniforms.
Okay.
There's literally nothing exciting or impressive about this impound lot.
Okay. So, we'll get some generic gray uniforms then. Mez, why don't you and Ma handle the acquisition of the uniforms, and then something that will cover Drix's face, so that we can get him in as well. And then Drix and I will handle the forging of the documents.
Okay, John, is there a clothing supply store?
Uniforms are us.
That's what I'm looking for. A uniform supply store.
Infiltration are us.
Space Party City.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
they sell little mustaches and fake cigar horns and
Maybe
Um,
fucking Mahdi knows where to get one, possibly.
Yeah, but
No,
there
it's
may
actually
also
not.
be a uniform retailer.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not unheard of.
you can find one nearby. It'll take you maybe an hour to go and get some uniforms.
Great. Yeah, I go buy some.
All right. It's 8 credits, 8 gold.
Fucking A. 80% of your net worth, Jeremy.
I had 15. Thank you.
It's not his net worth; it's his liquid capital because he's still got a fucking racing
Race
pod
pod.
that's worth 4K.
That's true. Why don't we just sell all of our shit?
We decided against that. And then also, I'm gonna go look for.
I wonder what Jeremy wanted to get off planet. Maybe it's because he's the one with the good shit. What are you doing? Sorry.
So we have uniforms for the four of us. I also want to go see about do you remember the helmet in Mass Effect that was like the screen?
What?
The Mass Effect helmet that was like the visor that did like this. It was like,
You're just covering your face.
yeah, exactly. No. It's not like a full face covering. It's just like the eyes. It's just over the eyes.
Okay.
So the words you're looking for, Jeremy, are the Mass Effect visor that like covers your eyes?
Yeah, it looks like this. Like hooks on here.
It looks like a hand sort of across your face.
Like a power scouter. Power scouter.
But like
Well,
for your,
okay,
for your
no,
whole
so-
top of your face.
No, not like that. It looks more like this kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Kind of like.
Yeah,
Exactly.
see, Richard's got it.
I don't even have a camera and I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, for the people. Sorry, Toby. I know you can't see our cameras. I'm sure that bit was really thrilling.
I have to use my imagination.
We're all just being idiots. That's all. That's all that's going on.
Pretty much. But something like that. That's a like pretty big visor that would help obscure his face. There.
Sure. Yeah, you can find a helmet that does
Like
that.
like a flight helmet, like a flight suit helmet
Yeah.
type situation.
Well, yeah, but like the ones from Mass Effect that do
Yeah,
this.
that have the hand on the top of the face.
Yeah, you can find a helmet that covers your eyes. 4 gold.
Nice. It's a good thing we sent the people who have gold.
And that's how I drained Jeremy's entire bank account in one session. Okay. What are you guys doing?
We need to forge documents.
take out my thumb drive and I plug it into your thumb drive.
Nice.
Is that an innuendo?
There. So then it looks like that.
Oh, that's not at all what I thought you were trying to describe.
Well, I was trying to
Yeah, me
describe
either.
this one, but I decided that the first one was better.
That's a really cool helmet. I've never seen that helmet.
I was describing this one, but this one doesn't obscure the face enough. So this one, the first one, is actually what
Is
I
that
wanted.
first one an actual helmet?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, you have a helmet that obscures your eyes.
See, I was thinking something similar to like.
We've
something-
got, what, an hour left?
Sorry, hold on. That's not that.
Yeah, I was imagining something like what Austin was putting on there.
Hmm.
Richard.
Okay. Regardless, done helmet. I have very little money left. How dare you, John?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what do we need to do to get this forgery taken care of, John?
To forge ID cards?
Yep.
In like 4 hours?
Yeah. Quickly.
with what kind of cash you got on hand?
I figured we were gonna do it.
Oh, you guys are gonna do it yourselves?
That's what he does, no?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm pretty good at like that kind of stuff.
What skill would that even use?
Forged document.
Deception, maybe.
I feel like forged documents probably a gambit.
Oh, you think so?
Isn't it? Forge.
No.
Villain. Ally. That's forget. That's not forge.
Mm.
Hey, there's a forgery kit.
Huh?
There's a forgery kit.
Okay, so to make those, I'm gonna have you roll. I don't know. None of these really make any sense. Let's just
I'm gonna make you roll.
Let's just roll intelligence. If you have proficiency, you can use that. One of you is going to roll this. The rest of you can help if you would like.
God damn it! I took security tools instead of a forgery kit in my background.
Oh, you're a spy.
What roll to help?
No. Why didn't I take security tools? I'm a dumb bitch. All right, intelligence.
Yep.
Intelligence check.
Yep.
So wait, hold up. What's your face? What's your name?
Dorian.
Dorian. So you actually have you done this before? Are you quote unquote proficient in this?
I mean, I have indeed had to forge documents in the past. Yes.
All right.
Okay, so while the two of you are discussing this, Ma prints out several pretty solid-looking ID cards.
There you go.
Well, I'll be damned. Sweet. All right, cool. That'll work. So we have one for like each of us, right? With, like fake names on them and stuff.
Yep.
All right, cool.
All the names seem like kind of strangely fungal related.
One of us is just named Moist.
No.
Joseph Redcap. um,
Regina Mushroom.
yeah, the mushroom. Mr. Official definitely is a mushroom.
I was gonna say Pete
That
Porcini.
Mr. Official
There you
definitely was a mushroom was my father. Thank you. I'm just officially was definitely a mushroom.
Peter Portobello.
I go by Cap.
I go by magic.
Oh no. Anyway, all right. So we did it. We have ID cards. We have the outfits. We have something to cover Drix's face. Now we just have to succeed in infiltrating the place.
So now we
Yeah,
just
no
have,
big
to,
deal.
have to do it. I just
Easy.
give everybody their
Don't get
outfit
shot.
and Drix his helmet and say, I got something to disguise your face. I hope this fits and is it's good enough.
I take off my
Like, swoosh it
sunglasses
onto him.
and I put on the helmet.
Oh, you should leave the sunglasses on though.
Under
Just-
the
And
helmet.
then I
Just
put
under
back on
it.
my sunglasses on top of the helmet.
Nice.
They see you enter and they go, "Hey, I've seen those sunglasses somewhere before today."
Oh gosh.
Inconspicuous.
They're really cool sunglasses.
I wouldn't
Oh, man,
forget
this is
sunglasses like that.
Like he's wearing like the Rolex of sunglasses.
The Ray-Bans.
Bedazzled too.
Bedazzled Ray-Ban. Bedazzled space Ray-Bans. All right.
Mez, how
Awesome.
confident are you in your ability to talk us through the gate?
Fairly confident.
Did you say fairly or barely?
How's your if you had to rate yourself on a scale of, let's say, 1 to like 6, how how good at like bluffing and lying and possibly generally deceiving people are you?
Well, I would say that on like maybe like a 1 to a 20 scale, I'm like a 15.
A 15 on a 1 to 20 scale?
Yeah, on like charismatic things.
Like on a completely like non-arbitrary or completely arbitrary scale. So, okay, so like Because, like, me, when it comes to deceiving people, if I had to rate myself from a 1 to 6,
I
being
I would
a
be like
6,
I would be like a 4
I would be like a 5.
on like deceiving and I like persuading people.
Right.
But
like,
also like I also have like liar's tongue. Whoops, did not mean to do that.
You also have, like, a sharp, like, lying... you just have a fucking lying tongue in your head.
Yeah, it does. It does this. It does this.
It just
He's
lies
actually
in
got a
your mouth.
tattoo on his tongue that says
Liar.
It says liar. We might
Liar.
want to avoid that.
Just stick out your tongue at random people.
Liar. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm fairly good.
All right. And get us in.
Right. I after making everybody look official, I put Austin up front with me, and then Ma, and I put Dorian up front with me, and I put Ma and Drix in the back. So what are each of us doing? Ma is taking the car and putting it in the freighter, so you're just staying in here. Drix is hacking into the network, so you're checking the inside because I assume you need physical access.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're checking the inside. Dorian, do you know how to program an autopilot?
I mean, like, if I had to say that I'd done it before, I haven't really. But I'm a fairly intelligent guy. I could probably figure it out.
John, would I be able to describe how to... Also, would it be possible to do a delayed start for a thing and say, okay, I want this ship to take off in one direction after a certain amount of time and just like have it continue going as far as it can go? Would that be possible?
The ship does not do that. Like what I just described earlier, like it's really like setting a cruise control. It's like I want you ship to just go straight, right? But it's made for like we're heading to Neptune, so just keep going. Don't change course or anything. I'm gonna go to sleep now because this will take a week. Right?
Yes.
It's not really meant for, I'm going to climb in the ship, program coordinates, jump out of the ship, and then the ship will go 5 minutes later.
Okay.
Right? Like, that's not really how it's programmed, because this isn't like a drone ship, it's a ship.
Okay, but would it still be possible to, like, put it in the cruise control and then get out of it before it fully took off? And just, like, put it in drive and then just...
So you want to set the ship to take off.
Basically what I want is as soon as Richard unlocks the ships, that ship to start flying away. And so, based on what you said, Austin would just turn the ship on, press cruise control, and set the speed, and then jump out of the ship. And the ship would just go.
I don't think that's quite how the ships work.
All right. Is it likely that there's like a parachute or escape pod on the ship?
Roll 1d4.
Do you get what I'm trying to explain, though, John?
Yeah, I get you. This...
2.
No, there's not an escape pod on the ship.
Right.
I get what you're trying to get at here, but it's like think about like the Serenity, right? Like they can walk away while the Serenity's like flying around, but not when the Serenity's like flying around on a planet. It's more like they set it on a trajectory and then they just don't do anything and the ship just keeps going. Excuse me.
I'm thinking similar to like a cruise control of like if I were to get in my car and set the cruise, I could get out of the car and the car would just keep going. Like that's all I want from it.
Right, but a spaceship. I'm guessing that this spaceship design doesn't have like the escape hatch directly adjacent to the cockpit, and since the ship is going to take off relatively quickly after you set the cruise control, it'd be like if you were in an RV, but the only exit you could use was the back of the RV, right? So you're like setting the car to go, and then trying to run through the RV to jump out the back.
And also the RV flies.
And also the RV is flying above the ground, not just slowly picking up speed on the ground. So it'd be like doing that on a plane.
How long is the lock mechanism?
Oh yeah, we could. Oh yeah, we could totally set it to be going, and then at that point, Drix releases the locks, and it takes off in tandem.
Yeah, like that because if Austin's on it, sets it, it like lifts up the 5-10 feet, and then Austin goes and then barrels out and then just runs to the ship, and we just fly away in the other way, and both ships just.
Okay.
That's possible. That's more likely.
It could work. You're turning the engines on a ship that's stuck to the ground in clamps. So that's a lot of force, a lot of really powerful forces pulling at each other really, really hard. But it could work. I don't know.
I explain this to Dorian and say that's probably the best thing we have. That would act as a good distraction.
I'm about it. My flaw is that I live recklessly, so I'm about that life.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you did that because then I can just start saying shit. All right. So what we're gonna do?
Did you have a question or a suggestion?
I was gonna say also could not like we unlock the clamps or whatever, and can't Drix like hack the ship to just make it turn on when we're away?
I don't know about remotely.
Yeah, I don't know what ship technology we've got. Like, do they have built-in Wi-Fi and access to the like computer program and shit? But
it seems fairly rudimentary, right?
Well, they have transmitters and whatnot, but you're trying to program fairly advanced flight mechanics. Like they're definitely not set up to do that generically, because they're not remote piloted drones. But again,
but you got
it's
cars
possible
that you can have them turn on like before you get there.
Yeah, it's possible that you could hack it to be able to do that, but it doesn't do it already.
I think it would be easier to do it with Dorian and to have Dorian do it, because that way Drix isn't forced to do two different things kind of simultaneously.
Also true. Yeah, and I mean, even if the ship, just fucks itself up attached to the clamps, that's still a distraction.
Yeah,
That's
as long
true.
as Dorian's not still on it when it's fucking itself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just turn it on real slow, like.
You just I don't know, you just put together some sort of Rube Goldberg machine, so it's like a time delayed
I was just
button
thinking that.
while you're at
I was
the
like,
exit. You're like, okay.
What if I get a rubber band to pull the throttle?
Or you have one of those kitchen timers where you crank it around and then it vibrates and it'll vibrate itself off a table and then hit the switch to turn on the.
Exactly.
Nice.
Brilliant. I can see the investigators later picking through the wreckage. They're like, how did they manage to do this? And then they just find a little this a pile of marbles and rubber bands and magnets and an egg,
Dominoes and shit.
Yeah, and a timer and
They're just
a little
confused.
little spinning fan and a Rubik's cube and what the fuck? Okay. Okay, so do you guys have a plan?
Yep.
Yeah. most of one.
All right.
Great. I drive us up, all official-like, and then pull up to the guard and say that we are from the county and we're here for the inspection that was scheduled.
Inspection. All right, these are the Cockney. I'm a Cockney. Inspection. I don't think we've got any inspection today. Who exactly did you say you are?
We're with the Department of Transportation. Sorry, I was gonna say motor vehicles.
Motor vehicles.
We're the Department of Motor Vehicles. No, we're the Department of Transportation. But you should check your system because we called months ago for this.
Grumbles. Roll a deception with advantage.
Dude,
Please roll well.
I have advantage, and also I have a +4. I'm gonna take my 21.
That's nice.
Yeah, all right. My bad then, lads. Hit on through. I know. I love the idea of from the Department of Motor Vehicles. It's the equivalent of coming up to them and saying we're from the Department of Art Patronage and halberdier training or something. From the Catapult Construction Service. In today's world.
I mean, okay.
All right.
Whatever you say.
You're in through the gatehouse.
Great. I take the car and kind of park it next to the main building, and I get out and I tell Ma. I point to the Mercer light fighter that we're going to be going into, and I say, I will have the back down for you as soon as I can, and you should be able to drive straight in.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right.
And
I'm
then-
gonna get out with Drix, and then
I lean over to Dorian and say, should we check in so they're not weirded out by the fact that we're just scoping out these vehicles?
yeah, the three of us should all go in.
Okay, good. Then we do so.
All right. So the three of you enter the office. Drix, you can see that there's one fewer person in line. The rest of them look very hungry and tired.
All right,
We
I
should
want
grab them snacks.
to approach the counter. I don't care if there's somebody there because I'm an official. Let's see. Yes, where's your department manager?
I nudge Richard to make it look like he's inspecting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Department manager, you're gonna have to fill out a department manager request form in triplicate.
I put my fucking thing on the counter, and I'm like, "We're here for the county inspection. This has been in the works for months."
County
I'd like to see your
inspection.
manager.
Nobody told me about any county inspection. I'm gonna have to see about this, and starts clicking angrily on their computer, and then just go, "Oh, one moment." And they step away and they start talking over an intercom. And a few minutes later, through the back door on the other side of the, the other side of the counter, there's a back door. It opens and a slightly older and only very slightly more important looking person steps out.
Oh my god, we should have got you. Can I speak to the manager wig? I would have got us straight away.
Just a lizard person with this awkward
Haircut.
dyed haircut. Give me an accent. What accent?
Vogon.
What?
And so, what's all this about an inspection, eh? Nobody told me anything about an inspection today.
I like show my like license or whatever, my forged document. I'm like, we're here from the Department of Transportation. We're here for our annual inspection. Not sure why you didn't see this coming. We planned this months ago.
All right, can I have you roll a deception with advantage, please?
Yes.
Drix, what'd you say?
I
like look at my pad and like start frowning and like making a mark.
I like point something out to him too, and just like
And nod.
yeah, but we both nod.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Oh,
Ooh,
Nice.
nat
Oh,
20.
shit. Nat fucking 20.
Radical.
Well, all right then.
Now I can already see we're in clear violation of a few different civil codes, so we're going to need to take a thorough investigation, not only of the office, but the entire premises and the ships in your impound lot.
Oh. Well,
Yes, show me your main record-keeping interface, so that we can have our specialist go through them, take any notes he might need to, and then please show my, or actually leave us be because we'll do the rest.
Well, we can certainly help you from this point, and I'm so sorry that we didn't see anything about this appointment. But no, I'll have someone come around to show you around the impound lots. I
like look at something else and start shaking my head like major frown.
Oh,
That's okay. Listen, you've done quite enough. We'll take it from here.
Oh. All right.
All right. So, actually, do show our specialist where your computer is. Though, so.
Yes. Excellent. Right this way then.
I follow.
All right. The Vogon looks extremely distressed by this whole predicament.
We're fucking doing it, boys.
that nat 20 just saved your ass.
We in there.
All right, so Drix, you're led to the interface panel.
Excellent. Is this like in a separate room?
Yes, this is actually they lead you through this room, like behind the counter, and then upstairs. And actually they lead you through a security room. You can see they have several security panels. You can see a bunch of like grids of different security camera angles, blah blah blah, stereotypical security center. And then they lead you through that to a database where it's just like filled with hard drives and garbage.
Okay. Do they have a server technician or anything? Just is it unmanned systems?
They have one person in the security room, but no one in the database room at all.
Right.
Jeremy, what are you doing?
I was watching a video that I now have to post in the fucking Discord because it's fucking hilarious. Like, I don't even know how I'm gonna find this.
I'm gonna tell the manager, thank you, that'll be all. I turn to the person working there. You can go ahead and take a break. I'm gonna need some time here.
They look to the manager like, what? And the manager just like nods and kind of like starts shuffling them out of the room, clearly like sweating through their clothes.
I nod and make a check mark on my pad.
The manager like seems slightly relieved by this as they leave.
Right. Yeah, so I sit down and get into the system.
Okay. Ma and Dorian, what are you up to? Or not Ma and Dorian, Mez and Dorian. We'll come back to Ma in a moment.
I start walking out to the ships And I walk to the one that I'm going to go see.
I am going to kind of be poking around behind the counter and just sort of writing things down that I notice. I'm also while I'm here, I'm looking for more documentation that I'd be able to use, possibly the documentation on the ship itself. So that when we steal it, we actually have the permit that goes with it and all that good stuff, like the pink slip.
Clever.
Okay. Ma, what are you up to?
Trying to think what music would a mushroom listen to in the car.
Psychedelic train.
Just rocking out to thrash.
Badger, mushroom,
Just memes.
Just very classical music. The Talking Heads.
Badger, me, badger, me.
I haven't watched it yet, Jeremy.
Yes, I'm just trying not to get ink all over my fancy official government form. And I'm just waiting to drive the car. Is anybody looking at me?
Not yet. All right. So let's go back to Drix. What are you doing?
I would like to set a timer on those 2 locks to unlock them in... how far away are they?
One of them's about a mile. One of them's about 2.
In the same direction?
Yeah, they're relatively close to each other because that was how Maz saw the other one. It's because it was near.
I set a timer for a good amount of time.
And what is a good amount of time?
For the perfect amount of time.
Actually, could
Half hour?
I... Do these guys receive is there a radio tower, a antenna thing on top of the building, or do they receive any sort of signals from the outside?
Yeah, they have internet access because they have to access documents and information from the larger corporation.
Okay. Can I set up a small trigger to unlock the locks when I send out a blast on the wireless network?
Yeah. This is the weird part with hacking. I don't know exactly if I should be having you write a roll or do a roll for this or what. Since I don't know.
I could see it being a security tools roll or something.
Yeah, since you are doing this with time constraints and you can't really test your code ahead of time,
Right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
So why don't you give me a roll?
Can I at least go one test to see what bugs there are? Nope. Shit.
All right, you guys
That's
are
not
rolling
bad.
well.
That's not bad.
Okay, so you put together some code. It looks like it should work. Probably.
That's good enough. And then yeah, fuck it. That's it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Don't want to.
Nope.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Actually,
So Ma, you're just sitting parked next to the building, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm be inconspicuous as possible.
Could I have you do a perception roll?
And do ideas. Fuck. 1 second.
John's like, and then the actual inspectors showed up.
They looked on their calendars and saw that they had an appointment that they were late to.
goddamn networked documents.
It's a Google Calendar. It's
Yeah, it's
shared
a
with
Google
everyone.
Oh,
Oh,
once again, I
no.
perceive nothing.
All right, moving on. I
My,
guess.
my classical music is too distracting.
Yeah, it's really loud.
Jesus
Mushroom,
Christ.
mushroom, mushroom.
Your classical,
meme.
classical music. It's just acid rock.
Yeah,
Nice.
like Star Trek.
Oh,
Is that a thing in Star
Classic.
Trek?
In
John.
the movie.
We saw Beyond.
I'm trying to remember.
You saw Too Fast, Star Furious.
Yeah, I tried to forget that I saw that movie though.
Aw.
Can I make an investigation roll to try and find the documentation on the ship?
Yeah, go for it.
Middle of the road.
You just find like basic paperwork, but just like these are the serial numbers of the vehicle.
I like shuffle it around in my hands and like straighten it out and kind of just make like scoffing noises the entire time.
Master spy.
And then like put it back and just kind of like just look disappointed with the state.
Okay, so now that Austin's got his fingerprints on some documents related to the thing you're going to steal, let's move on to Mez.
Nice. Do lizards have fingerprints?
I don't know, do they?
I guess we'll find out, right?
I would think so. Like geckos, like
I'm
have.
not a gecko, you fucking racist.
Damn.
It's not a gecko any more than Toby's playing a portobello.
Yeah.
Well, you're playing a Keebler elf.
That was really good. I just like immediately shrink.
All right, you ready to snap, crackle, and pop, Jeremy?
Well played, John.
All right, Mez, what are you up to?
I'm going to walk out and kind of like tap on the car, the minivan, the space minivan, the sky car is the word I was looking for. I kind of like get Ma to be kind of ready, and I like start walking towards the Mercer freighter, but while I'm doing so, I kind of like I'm looking at some of the other vehicles. I like open them and like do a little bit of inspecting to make it look like I'm actually doing something. And I'm just like keeping an eye out for anybody that's walking towards me or anything like that.
Okay. Apparently the manager has sent out word and people are giving you a fairly wide berth as you're going around, so you don't see anyone there.
Good.
So the two of you, you're heading towards which ship?
The Mercer freighter, the one we're actually taking.
The one you want.
Yes.
Okay. So you're able to get there. Yep. So you get to the ship. It's still locked. The clamps are in place.
Great.
The clamps.
The clamps. Clamp. Why do they call them clamps? Because he clamps. I am going to get into the ship and just make sure it has everything like kind of in order, and then I like start getting it ready, and I like prime the cargo space to be dropped, and I then kind of like radio direction say, whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I'm going to make my way to the shipyard as well, and head over to the other ship.
Was wondering if that part was going to happen.
I totally forgot. So yeah, I'm going to make my way over to the other ship.
I would
Grappling-
like each of you to roll 1d10 for me, please.
Ow.
Hopefully high is good.
My virtual die is an F4.
Oh,
Oh, that was mad.
this is mine was a 4.
All of us? Me?
Yep, all of you.
Ah.
Okay. What uninspiring results? Continue.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, I head towards the other ship, and kind of like looking at some cars and stuff on the way over there, space cars, and all that good stuff. Kind of following suit to what Jeremy did, and make my way to the Mercer. What is it? The heavy freighter or whatever?
It's
Transport.
Yeah, Mercer like shipping.
Cargo hauler, I think I called it.
Cargo hauler. Yeah, make my way over to the cargo hauler and start fiddling around, kind of familiarizing myself, and then I say in my my little headset, I'm in position. How do we want to count this down?
I say to Drix, okay, give me a little bit of a warning before the clamps go, because then I can get Ma into the back of the hold.
Wait, shouldn't Drix get to the sky car?
Sure, I'll do that.
If you can do it remotely, hell yeah.
Right? Isn't
Yeah,
that what you set up?
I've got it set on a remote. How long would it take for me to delete the records of these 2 ships? And the last 10 minutes of camera footage.
Yes!
Take
I
a,
wanted.
it'd take a cool minute.
Cool minute?
Yeah.
Like a minute 30?
Well, so you have to get into the database, find the records for these ships, delete them, and delete every mention of them in the database, which would take a minute. Plus, then you have to go over to the security terminals, which is a separate room, and go through the footage there.
How long would it take me to... Nah, fuck it. What about one of those things?
Take you a couple minutes to do one.
It's the small victories.
Let's do either?
A couple minutes isn't the end of the world. They expected us to be here for a little while, so...
Excuse me.
Is it an automated process? Can I set it to go and then leave?
Deleting?
Yeah.
The deleting itself is a pretty quick thing. It's about finding exactly what it is that you want to delete, especially for the database. For the security footage, it's about going through a million overrides because there are a lot of redundancies to stop any security footage from being lost.
This is when we throw the whole DMV into chaos and just delete everything.
Holy shit. Just fucking wipe it all.
Fuck the system.
Dude,
Yeah.
we are anarchists.
It's kind of true.
But if you wipe it all, we have a chance to probably wipe the code that we wrote, and that's not good.
I mean, the database is its own separate system. That wouldn't affect the clamps. Surely.
The clamps.
Surely.
Surely not. What could possibly go wrong?
What if I set it to delete everything?
What do you
And
mean
then
by everything?
Like literally like a wild card, like an asterisk dot asterisk wild card, anything that matches, go.
Delete out of the database of
Yeah.
what's being held there?
Just wipe the database.
Yeah, that would wipe the database.
That's a lot easier.
Hey guys, you want to go out with a bang or what?
Okay, I want to do that, and I want to replace it with one entry that is a
Yes.
string that I'm going to give to you.
You guys developing calling cards now?
We need a name.
Yeah.
Have you seen my my flaws?
That's right. I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so I want to do that. And I want to
Is your calling card going to be Dr. Saxon? Dr. Saxon the ninth.
Man, I want a much better calling card than I have. Can I retroactively give you a thing to leave?
Sure. Since
Okay.
it's flavor, it's more flavor text. We can.
Yeah.
And I assume that since your character is an experienced hacker, you've developed this previously, so it's not a time-sensitive issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing that, and then
Getting up and exiting this room.
okay. Are you leaving the building?
Yes, I'm going out to the front. To the car.
Okay. As you head through the lower office, you see one of the people behind the main front desk, kind of squinting at their computer screen and like mashing buttons.
Get the fuck out of there.
Like, what's? Why isn't this? This stupid system. Why isn't this? And that's sort of the sound that you hear as you exit the building.
Ask Drix to message me when he is ready, or like when he is leaving the building and getting close to the car, so I can drop the hatch.
I am setting the autopilot on the ship. Or not the autopilot, but like the coordinates for the cruise control to just go straight up.
All right. Are you turning it on yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. But you're just setting it so that all the engines and stuff are just aimed straight
Yes. Yeah.
up. Okay.
And when Drix is in the sky car, I start lowering the back of the Mercer freighter.
All right. I would like everyone to roll 1d10 minus 1.
Oh boy. Is this our luck? Is this our luck score?
Whoops. Why did I do that? I just rolled a 10 minus 1.
So funny, it's just a calculator, right?
Jeremy, you need a D in there.
I got it. I still rolled pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it! Come on. 1d10 minus. Why is this not working? /R 1d10. Oh, it's because it's a forward slash. Okay, no, it's not. /R 1d10. /R 1d10 minus 1. Thank you. Fuck me. That took so long. Alright.
All right. Okay, so Maud Drix gets to your car.
Woohoo!
All right. Let's get moving.
Alright, I hit it half blast. And then I dip the fuck out.
Half?
Okay, so
I-
a number.
Why full blast? I'll die. I was gonna die.
Ms.
You're
what
en
do you-
route to the ship. Don't
I dropped the cargo bay.
Okay.
Whatever.
So several things happen at once. Drix and Ma in the car now heading towards the real prize. Hear a deafening roar of engines firing. Austin, I'd like you to give me a roll.
Of what kind of variety?
Well, let's see. Are you proficient with ships?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so now remind me, did Mez show you how to fly a ship?
Of course.
Yeah, Mez gave me the.
Okay, so I'd like you to roll a disadvantage for lying like a sack of shit.
What? No,
No, I'm
No,
kidding.
Mez did.
Honestly, like that's
Totally
something
said
that
so.
we
Yeah,
would
no,
have.
you're
No,
good.
because I would have done that. Like, hey, if you don't know how to do it, this is what you do. Here's a small rundown.
All right, so Dorian, give me an intelligence roll.
Don't fuck this up. Ho ho!
All right.
Oh,
So you hear an absolutely deafening roar of engines in atmosphere, which in the context of a spaceport would, be a little loud, but kind of unsurprising. Here, it feels kind of terrifying to hear this kind of a noise. Because it kind of sounds like the air is being ripped apart around your head.
As soon as I hear the engines, I message or I like beep Dorian and say, I forgot to mention it's gonna be a little loud. And just that's all I say.
Okay.
It's
Ma,
gonna
how
be a
fast
little
are you
loud.
driving?
Probably pretty fast, right? I mean, this is all.
Okay.
I'm auditioning for Fast and the Furious.
Is there a close the hatch button in the back of the cargo bay? I assume so, because it would be stupid not to.
Yeah, there's a close the hatch button.
Great. I'm
in the
immediate.
hatch.
As soon as I have, and I assume I can open it from the pilot seat.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Then I don't
Would make sense
move.
to be able to.
I don't move.
Okay. Ma, could you roll? Probably a dex thing to drive a car, right? I assume.
I think so. Let me. I have the skill written down somewhere. Flying vehicles, dexterity, yes.
Okay. So yeah, Ma, if you could roll some dex.
I do very average.
A 10. Yeah, that'll be good enough. You're driving in pretty much a straight line. And now I would like you all to roll. Well, actually, hold up a sec. So, Dorian, you're now trying to book it out of the vehicle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like you to roll a dex save.
Oh boy.
Ooh, buddy.
Man.
Man, there have been a lot of important roles in this. This
I get a little banged up.
This of all of them, this was definitely one.
Oh no.
Okay, so basically, what's happening is you're in a like a 30 to 40 ton spaceship
Yes.
with engines capable of escaping a large planet's gravity, and those engines are firing while pulling against massive metal claws. And you're inside.
Clamps.
How exactly do I want to do this? Go
Okay,
ahead.
Yes, John.
Did
How?
I like fall? Did I fall to the ground or something, like running away? Or
No, he does. He does this one where he's running. He goes. "Duh, duh, 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 duh."
I'm just gonna say, just open the clamps. Just open the clamps.
Okay. I hit the unlock button on my key for the car and open that.
Now, was that instant, or did you set a timer on it?
Not the timer. It was the instant one.
Okay, so the clamps release.
Austin dies for a session.
Austin, I'm not sure why you did that.
Listen, guys, go on without me.
He nobly sacrifices himself.
All right, do you release the clamps? The clamps are released.
Yeah, he did it.
All right. I'm going to try to jump out of the ship as quickly as I can.
Why did the clamps have to be released?
Because
So
the
the
ship
ship,
will go.
presumably the ship won't explode.
Yeah, so the ship doesn't tear itself apart before he can get out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, but now he's just jumping out of a flying upward spaceship. Let's have you roll a dex save, buddy.
So the Skycar can like fly a bit, right?
Yeah, Spike.
Okay.
It's
I'm
a
like-
sky car.
Not starting the ignition, but everything is primed.
Okay.
All right, dex save. Here we go.
Why?
Oh no!
Austin, we will leave without you.
Oh, no! Well, I think I'm either trapped in a ship or dead. So, John, has the ship taken off? Like, are we in the sky?
The ship is now in the sky. I would
All right.
like the other three of you to roll a perception.
Look at that lizard
I
in the
ain't
sky.
perceived shit once again.
I
Well, you're
may have
focused on
perceived-
driving.
Oof.
Okay, so Mez, as you're sitting totally safe and entirely comfortable in the cockpit of this ship, you look out the window and you see as the cargo hauler takes off, a body sort of rolls out of it. But it was clearly at a pretty significant height when this happened.
I immediately am on the cards. Turn and pick up Dorian.
Oh, fuck.
He is going to be injured. Turn and pick him up.
I would like each of you to roll 1d10 minus 4.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Positives.
Staying positive.
Toby?
Sorry. Say that again?
D10 minus 4.
Oh,
Roll a
I see.
1d10 minus 4.
How do you do the minus thing?
You just put -4.
When you, type into the chat bar /r space 1d10 minus 4.
Oh, because I've just been using like the button, so I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the minus. Minus 4. Hey,
Hey.
Nice. Nice.
That's-
That was it. That was an important roll, too. Okay, so...
oh, good.
Okay, that's funny. Alright, we'll go with that one then. Alright. Okay, so Ma and Drix, what are you guys doing?
We're getting in. Oh, the ship's gone, huh?
I'm
Oh, no, we can fly.
I'm telling you, no, the ship that I'm in is not gone. It has not moved.
Oh.
Austin's has. I'm telling you to go pick up Dorian. That he has fallen out of the ship, and you need to go get him. He is probably injured. You need to get him.
Let's go get him, Ma.
Question: so has he like fallen? Like, has he impacted already?
Yeah, he fell quick.
Okay.
Oh. Womp. Was there like a little dust cloud that popped up?
Had you seen him as he was falling, maybe you could have like darted to get him, but
Well, it stopped his impact with the car.
well, like tried to
Um,
catch him while he fell.
Do one of these, where you go like
action
this
movie.
and scoop him.
Toby
Um,
can't
okay,
see
but I
you,
mean-
so
So I mean,
For everybody else.
go to wherever I saw him fall.
okay.
Zoom, zoom.
So as you head to the other area, you see the massive claws that were holding it down, just sort of like rent and bent and twisted out of position, looking pretty much totally ruined. And then you see the mangled body of your lizard man.
Oh no.
John, how
mate.
high can the Skycar go? And how quickly can it catch me? Like, is it possible? Is it remotely possible for it to catch me?
To catch who?
Me, the freighter. Like, if I started flying away, would it be able to catch me?
Would what be able to catch you? The
The
sky
car.
car?
Yes.
I mean, you could just drive slow, but you're way faster than a sky car if
Okay.
you pull on full engines because your engines are designed to reach escape velocity.
Also, sidebar, where did we get to on the licensing and permits to leave a planet?
We didn't acquire them.
Yeah. kind of ran out of time on that one.
I specifically said I researched this. That was one of the things I was doing while I was in the car.
So the way it works is they have a classification system based on the tonnage of your ship, of which type of customs you have to go through, and which type of license you have to have to be able to pilot that ship in and out of a planet's airspace. Specific laws vary from planet to planet and government to government. For Etrea, a freighter of this size has to go through just basic customs to enter Etrea, but not to leave.
It could just leave if it wanted to.
Yeah.
Great. That's exactly the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. Basically, they're scared of you bringing something dangerous to the planet, but they're not afraid of you taking something dangerous from the planet because they don't care you're leaving.
Okay. So mangled corpse.
How mangled? Worth dragging back into the car?
We're gonna take him. Even if he's dead, I still get to eat him.
Oh my lord.
So I need to message Austin for a moment here. So while Austin and I are doing this, I would like you all
I'll still pick him up.
to look for a moment. I assumed you're all taking him, regardless, because it's probably not a great idea to leave him there. I'd like you all to look in resources and files at the Google Doc that I just linked, or the Google form that I just linked, and just kind of read through it, see if it makes sense, formulate questions.
Wait, where?
In Discord.
Oh, that would be different.
AFK activity. Lift long and prosper.
Oh, that video, Jeremy. Yes, it is a funny video.
What are we looking at?
Oh, I suddenly saw the Super Mario face guy that Jeremy posted a while ago. Okay, makes sense. Do you want us to fill it out right now?
Yeah, I mean, basically, because yeah, do it now.
I only choose one. Can only choose one.
Yeah, you're only choosing one.
Right.
You can change it. You can change it from session to session. So what you're doing now, you may not do next time. It's totally up to you. And we can also add more options to this if you guys come up with other ideas
Okay,
of
but
things
that
that you would like to
t-shirt,
do.
I want it.
I'm gonna guess our ship's fine.
Hello?
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
You can't hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
Can you
cool, I
hear
can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
us?
So what's going on?
Nothing.
Okay.
Filled out the sheet. That is it.
Same. John, you can see our names when we do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We put our name in that.
I know.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
He put in a funny name and he wants me to acknowledge it.
Yep, that's all. I want to be loved.
Okay, so here we go, Austin. Okay, so you guys find the mangled corpse of your
Corpse.
or not a corpse, body.
The mangled,
The mangled.
form.
The mangled. Of your buddy Dorian.
Name now. You're just the mangle.
However, you notice something a little unusual.
He's a
about
phoenix?
about this body. Yeah, he
Oh,
lights
did he?
on fire, goes, "Caw, caw!"
Is the lizard
then-
person the
and then
secret
he-
mole person?
and then he goes and perches on fucking Dumbledore's shoulder. All right, so
Oh man, is he missing his tail? Did it come off?
Ah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
If I had a detachable tail, a
I
prehensile.
mean, like a lizard, right?
yeah, lizards.
Austin, that's
Little-
that's the wrong word.
I know.
Guy, just as long as you know.
So you find your reptilian friend, very mangled and limbs broken and twisted all out of place. However, where you would expect bones to be sticking out through those mangled limbs, you see instead metal rods and sparking wires.
Eh. I can't eat that.
And it's twitching, and you hear like sort of the sounds of like motors trying to move.
Mechanical whirring.
Yeah.
I poke at him with my foot. Dorian?
We live in,
All right.
baby.
Guys, grab him
Let's get
and
him in
let's
the car.
go.
Well, there's a campaign-long
Yeah, I know.
reveal
Right? The reveal is
revealed by a couple of
destroyed.
bad rolls on the first session.
Bummer.
I love it. I love it when things just go poorly. I'm glad it wasn't me this time.
All right, so you load the zappy remains of your not so fleshy friend into the auto car, and Mez, have you taken off yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Mez just like, not fuck that.
Yeah, Mez just, I'm out.
Rip.
Whoop. And you make it back to the freighter.
Great. As soon as they are in, I tell Ma, punch it, and I punch it. So we both are going kind of the same speed, and then I'm closing the hatch because I know what's going to happen is I'm going to be going faster, and they're going to slip out, even though they're going pretty fast.
Yeah,
And so I'm just trying to trap them.
right. So you guys kind of slam into the airlock. Like the airlock
punch the
slams
car-
into the back of you guys as the big ship accelerates.
And then as soon as we start accelerating and the airlock is closed enough that they're not going to slip out, I tell her to kill the engine. And then I fucking
Ew.
punch it.
All right.
For the record, whatever he has told me to punch, I am actually punching.
It's the,
All right.
The
Mark,
robot.
could you roll an attack roll against the dash? Okay, so there you have it. You guys have your ship.
I might have banged up the ship a little bit. Told me to punch it, and then you told me to kill it, man. So if I start ripping out, don't mind me.
You're with
That-
Drix. It's good enough. Drix will understand.
Drix is like, no, this is great.
And then I leave the planet.
Okay. The four of you, speeding out into the dark void of space, are finally free of Etrea. Three of you kind of come together around, as we have described it, the mangled, electrified body.
I put us in. I put our destination out of the system.
Okay. So you're just heading into deep space?
No, to a different system. Just out of this one.
So you're warping?
Yeah, if we can.
Okay. Unfortunately, you guys forgot about one thing, which is that the Impound siphons 98% of the fuel out of vehicles because you don't want a vehicle sitting around with fuel in it because that's wasteful. So not only does the warp not work, but all of the systems turn off as you guys reach deep orbit
Oh,
because you're entirely out of
Sweet.
fuel. The air systems turn off, and you are all vented into the deep void of space.
Nice. We did it, baby.
Really.
Okay, so
Yeah, Let's try again.
I'm
We're sitting in the cantina.
okay. Same plan. Everything the same. Austin dies. We get fuel this time.
No,
Wow.
okay, so there's enough fuel in there to, for like a single jump, because they assume that whoever's going to come pick up this ship, like, whatever, they forgot to do the paperwork. I don't want to
You know
punish
what's
you
funny,
guys for that
actually?
shit.
John, there's an episode in Clone Wars where this dude's like, "Hey, I'm gonna sell you a ship," and he leaves only enough fuel just to get to his like brother's gas station.
That's awesome.
I
I would say that was a
Good
pretty
show.
successful heist.
Yeah.
Can you move
I say,
anything?
yeah,
Can you-
I say with like my fucking robot jaw like hanging off. Like, yeah, that's
It
pretty
doesn't.
successful heist.
The jaw
I'm just-
doesn't move. It's just the
Yeah.
like the vocal thing is emanating this.
I'm just imagining you look like something out of Five Nights at Freddy's now.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Messed
All
up
right.
robo creature.
So your first heist, you have a ship. So if everyone could do that Google form, basically that's as long as we have 3 people on a Sunday. What I'm thinking is, as long as we have 3 people, we'll play. Your character, as I'm sure you saw in here, your character is doing whatever these things are if you're not able to make it.
Mhm.
And we only have 3 people. So these will help the party in what we're doing, so you're still contributing, but we're not having to cardboard cut out you, and just have you kind of like waddling along behind the rest of the party. So there we go. If you guys have other ideas of things you would like to add to the list, for instance, sitting in the med bay, groaning and/or spewing oil all over the place, I can add things to this list. And as the campaign goes on, I'm guessing we'll get more and more options on here as you guys kind of come up with different ways to do things. I think I also said it so you guys can see the responses. You should be able to go to the responses tab.
I can fill out a new one.
Yeah, I don't know about responses.
You should be able to.
Bleh, this one.
How does somebody roll
Submit.
2 5s in a row?
Oh yeah, once you answer, you can see previous responses.
Yeah. So you guys, and you should be able to edit your answers as well. And that way you guys can kind of like coordinate. So if you want like one of you doing one thing, you don't have everyone, not everyone on the ship is cooking at the same time, like you're kind of spread out. None of you chose cooking. So you guys are just going to eat TV dinners on your adventures.
I don't have to eat, so.
You can still cook for other people, Austin. You can think of others.
Yeah.
Like, John.
Think of Vision.
There
That's
was
what he does.
there was a contestant on MasterChef who is a vegetarian, and she prepared meat dishes by sight and smell. You can do it.
Probably tastes like shit.
It was impressive, dude. She made it. She made it through like half the competition without having eaten any of the meat that she prepared.
She was like, "That's some good-looking meat."
You edit.
How do you view the responses? Because I can only just like make a new thing.
Yeah, I had to make a new one when I could see it. So now there's a SDF person who answered a thing.
Yeah. Can I delete responses?
I hope so.
I don't know how this works. I mean, I know how it works in that I could export it to an Excel sheet and then edit it, but I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I can delete people. Delete response. Okay. I can also just kind of like show you guys what responses have been put in, or tell you what's going on. So there you have it. There's our first session.
Woohoo!
and we will proceed from there next time. Whether you guys go launch another heist or head to a whole new system, or
I think we need to fix up our robo friend.
I'm sorry, Austin.
These things happen.
But in John's defense, you did this to yourself.
Oh yeah, I knew the risks.
I mean, hey, you're not dead, so
yeah. And if you hadn't been playing a robot, you would be. I do not think I would have let you get away with that.
I was like, I have two options. I could either stay on this ship and be blasted out into God knows literally where in space, which in retrospect might not have been the worst thing because I could have like got out.
Yeah. Just like turned off the ship and then had Jeremy come catch up with you and like just hook up that way, and that might have been
Next time.
But then it wouldn't really have been a diversion because you would have then met up with the diversion later, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
so it might have worked better. It might not have.
We'll never know.
This way, you did blow your cover.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Now I'm stuck with you fucking meat bags.
Organic fleshy
Hey.
cover.
I am not meat. I am a plant bag.
Plant bag.
Fungi bag.
You and your
Are
fucking
fungi even plants, technically?
living cells.
They are their own species.
Yeah.
They're fungi.
They're not even their own species. They're like their own branch of the fucking tree.
Yeah, they're their own like genus or something, right? Like their own total separate
Kingdom.
thing.
I think it's kingdom.
Kingdom?
Animal kingdom. Plant
I don't know.
kingdom.
Biology's stupid.
True.
It's a dumb science for
Fuck
dumb.
biology and anybody who likes biology. Who's worked in biology.
Or even like related sciences like chemistry.
The
Yeah.
phylogenetic
Yeah,
tree
dude.
is what we are looking for.
Who does chemistry?
Who
Ugh.
does science, dude?
Especially chemistry related to like water, or
No.
or like science related to like computers or like coding. Ew.
Yeah,
Biological
fungi
things.
are their own.
Jeremy just doesn't care.
I'm just ignoring you at this point.
That's probably the best course of action. To be totally honest.
Dude, honestly though, like even though I almost died, like that was a pretty cool heist. We successfully pulled that off.
You guys did a good job. It was a solid plan.
I like how the execution was much quicker than the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized like, damn, we've only got like an hour left to do this, and then I realized like this plan is actually pretty concise, and should be pretty good. I was surprised, and I apologize, Toby, that the guards were not alerted, but you guys rolled well enough that there didn't end up being any direct fist fights yet.
What was it? Did we need to like stay above a 10 or something?
You'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not done. That's not done.
All right.
Yeah, I think fungus are their own kingdom.
Okay, I'm glad we're still on that.
I got to know.
Well, thank you guys for playing. I hope you had a good time.
Indeed,
Woohoo!
it was very enjoyable.
Now we're in space.
Fast.
Space. We're in space.
Can everything that's not on a planet not have space in the title at all?
Yes, I agree.
Space things should only be on planets.